Okay. Yeah. Based upon my experience on like these like past broadcasts, they always end up having like 20 people.
All right. Fair.
But something's wrong. Oh, there we go. I knew it. There we go. I kept hearing I kept hearing the broadcast in the background, and I was like, "Where is it coming from?" The answer was somewhere.
I mean, I'm pretty. Isn't that usually the answer? Somewhere.
You got me there. Oh, spooky.
The noise was coming from inside your house.
It's coming from inside the house. Get out of there. Okay, Louise Alamon. Yo, hello there, Louise. And hello there, Sam. Gendo did nothing. Gendo did nothing wrong.
I mean, realize the falsehood.
What's the Gendo in reference to?
I have no clue.
Oh, it's the Gendo. You know, you got it.
Oh, okay.
Edward, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Hi.
Okay.
Yo. How's it going, Damien?
It's good.
You're kind of loud. How do I modify the audio for people? Control room? Oh, shit. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, Damien, say something.
Yeah, I said something.
Okay. I'm actually writing my dissertation on manga for my graphic design degree as I watch this. Okay. Cool.
I'm gonna change my picture quickly so I don't have to have my webcam on.
Yeah, usually these things are like really quiet for a little bit until like somebody says something weird. And then the whole conversation is just ham.
Yo, you should have like seen it when I was on with this group called Gensokyo Radio. They just play Toho music, but they have guests on like once a month. And like in like when they had music playing and we weren't talking and no one could hear us, my friend who I had with me just kept telling them about Big Mattress. Did you know that mattresses are they control your mind, man? They're used by the government.
Wait, you told me this.
Oh, yeah, I did. I told you about Big Mattress.
It's like when you sleep in the mattress, there's like, what was it, like microparticles control your brains or something? I don't remember.
Something like that. But it's also just always remember that sleep isn't a real thing. The government invented that. What actually happens when you go sleep in your mattress is the mattress turns you into a werewolf to fight for your government.
What war? I don't think we've had any documented wars with werewolves.
Because they don't want you to know, man.
Oh, yeah, of course. Wait. So the government doesn't want us to know because if they use werewolves, we'll know that it's the mattresses. Like, how are we supposed to make that connection?
I don't know, man. It just be like that.
How do they know?
Okay, hopefully you'll have my picture as the right thing when I turn off my webcam. Nope, it's still that dumbass picture.
It's the same old picture.
I changed it to one of those pictures you made for me.
Oh, okay. Oh
But
yeah.
no, but no, we still got the same old one. I guess it's back to the webcam for me.
Oh yeah. If anybody is in the chat, just remember. Well, not remember, but I guess I should note that JD and I are starting a scanlation group. It's called Y Scans or GWYPS, and the S stands for scans.
You forgot. I think you forgot the F in there, but 6 one, half dozen the other.
Yeah, GPF. Yeah, GYWP
F scans.
scans. Yeah, there we go. Nice. That was difficult. Okay, let's see here. Okay, oof, we missed a lot of comments here. Nobu says, "Thank you for the extremely consistent, great quality across your videos." Oh, thank you very much. This recent video was like This video was like I said
Radio.
Rito jumps in. The moment Rito jumps in, it's just like this Rito. This video. Oh, show that. This video was like 70% Damien. So that was all him. Leon says, "How long will the stream go? I'm going to be in class for like 4 hours. I don't know. Once I start sweating from exhaustion."
Oh, Redo joined the chat.
Yes. Yep. May I say I loved that first YouTube video on Isekai, and my favorite part was how it begins with, you know, you're kind of making some statements, Joe, and then Damien saying, "Yeah, no."
Yeah, I think that's like the fun part, right? It's just like two isekai junkies, just like
yeah, check it out. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I think I think the other videos are gonna be just like that. I'm just gonna throw something wild out, and Damien's just like, I don't know about that.
Oh, it started.
Hell no.
Howdy.
Yeah, this hangout also doubles as a Patreon thing. So in case if people jump in, they might be a patron. It's primarily because I promised that I would do like Patreon hangouts, and so here we are.
Yeah, I just got finished watching Info W. YouTube might censor if I say the real word.
Okay, so what do we got next? Oh, Scrappy Doo. Scrappy Doo says hello. Too Deep 5G says they don't be like it is, but it do. And Scrappy Doo says, "Sup everyone, miss you guys." I miss you too, Scrappy. Do you still think Japan is like one ethno
state,
one ethnicity?
Oh.
Feel free, if you're willing to debate that, you're free to join this hangout. Oh my god, look at this classic Scrappy Doo pivot, my dude. Recently caught up on Making a Murder. What do you think? Just talking about ethnicity in Japan, you're like, what about Making a Murder?
Hello, the Nono Teku.
Let me see here. What else do we have? Okay. So Lugal Bunda of Uruk says the matrix doesn't transform you. Transforms in all caps. All right, this is for you, JD. It uses the processing power and NI to drive the biomechas. So, which are furry because the hairs are antennas who capture the mattress cluster computing.
Okay, that explains why we become werewolves and fight for our government when we sleep on our mattresses. But I didn't tell him about memory foam.
Oh man, what do you think about Goblin Slayer?
Wait, doesn't okay, so according to your friend, doesn't memory foam take the memories and it's powered by the memories?
So memory foams absorb your memories, and that's why you have to get rid of mattresses in a specific way. It's the government needs to extract your memories from the mattress.
Here's the thing. Memory foam is only harmful if you don't clean it. Because here's the thing. All that dead skin, mixed with your memories, will make a doppelganger of you. And then eventually we'll just try to kill you instead.
This makes so much sense.
Oh, you got to wrap your mattress in tinfoil, so that way the radio wave it emits won't control your mind.
Oh.
But more importantly, did you know that before mattresses, there wasn't a documented case of autism? Thus, mattresses cause autism.
You know, everyone who's drank water has never lived to the age of 200.
You're right.
Wow, that was very interesting.
You don't have proof for that.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're right. I also don't have proof of 9/11, so.
Oh my! Wow, I'm kind of, this stream isn't monetized, so it's not like I'm losing money anyway. So. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. What we got?
I'll calm it down a bit.
Okay, so we got the mattress.
Oh, great. Wait, what do you guys think of Goblin Slayer? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Goblin Slayer.
You did actually make a tweet on that, chat.
I did tweet on it, and I still stand by my tweet. For the most part, I think like a little more of the backstory around it was kind of interesting, but like it didn't really change my mind. I was more just like, oh, that's cool.
What was your ideas of it?
Huh?
I didn't see the tweet.
Oh, my position on Goblin Slayer was that like.
Shall I describe your position?
Oh, sure, go ahead.
Giggity.
Was that everybody's kind of talking about the goblins as these lowly monsters, but by systemically putting them as a lower other, they're also ignoring the huge damage that the goblins do, because it seems like they have been making a lot of damage, noticeable damage to society that they're living in. So to say that people should be going off and fighting the other monsters seems a bit questionable when you've got the goblins with the goblin things that they've got down there having fun with the women.
Having fun.
I mean, here's the thing. We've already done a podcast about this, and we already offered our solutions on how to completely eradicate goblins.
Okay.
What it is the first thing you do is get all women and put them at like the center of a village and collapse. First is collapse villages together so that they all have a lot more people, a lot better defenses, and no one's allowed to go have like a separate village until the goblins are dead. And then put
city.
Yeah, and like a really populated city. And then have the women all near the middle and not to go a certain distance away from the middle. And then it'll have adventurers systematically go snowball, kill them until they're all dead. And just go one by one.
I mean, you're right. Like, the human women are the source of the goblins, so we should just kill them all.
That was my second solution, actually, unironically. I said, if all those fail, let's just kill all the human women. Thus, the goblins can't
kill all the women. Then all the goblins will be gone too. It's a problem solved. It's so easy.
Win-win, really.
Yeah, that was Rita got it. Yeah, that was my concern with the Goblin Slayer. And like it was also like how can I describe it? It was also like okay, so it initially sets it up as okay, so goblins have the intelligence of kids, but like they're evil.
Mm-hmm.
But like the story has very fluid understanding of what a child's intelligence is.
Yeah, that's the one thing I talked about in my video because I was like, the amount of knowledge they had is very contradicting.
Like, there are some chapters.
Yo,
there are chapters and some. Oh, sorry.
That shaman had a dope-ass chair. You telling me a child made that?
Exactly. Right? Come on.
I've heard like so many defenses about this show of when I brought up the intelligence, they're saying, "Oh, that's only the weak goblins that are that dumb. The shaman goblin is actually smart. Thus, he's the one that made all the poison and everything like that. And for how they acted during the time of fighting, the hobgoblin was leading them." And I was like, "It's like these are kind of stretches, I guess." It's like
I wouldn't say it's like a stretch because it kind of makes sense. But the problem here is that one, if we're going to equate like the lower ranked goblins to kids, then how come are they still implicit in these activities that are seemingly fairly complex? Like they have an understanding of trap systems and how to use poisons and whatnot. And in addition to that, like what connects the shaman goblin to like the lower ranked goblins that allow them to command them? Because like it's not like a babysitter taking care of a daycare. It's not like the babysitter can all of a sudden go and have them like commit rape. You know, like there's a difference between managing kids in like a closed, keep them under control context and like managing them as like say a military force. Because like even I can't believe I'm making this analogy, but like even if you look at child soldiers in Africa, they still behave differently than like.
Then like what?
The children soldiers in Africa behave differently to the Isekai goblins.
Okay, never mind. Somebody is going to VOD this and go like, wow, another shitty take.
It's not Isekai. You know, it's not someone going to another world.
Never mind. This made a lot more sense in my brain until it left my mouth, and then all of a sudden it stopped making sense.
Okay, no,
So
because
hang on,
I argued.
goblins are
No,
children.
What I was saying is I argued for this person for about one whole day in my comic section.
The goblins are said to have the intelligence of young children.
Yeah. And here's my rebuttals is because the hobgoblin wasn't ordering them around. We never see him ordering them around. And all the stuff they were doing, it was all done by the small goblins themselves. And if the big shaman, or not big, the shaman goblin was smart enough to know about putting poison on the weapons and doing all that, why didn't they put it on the arrows?
Well, like that makes me also wonder, like, how does a goblin go from a low rank goblin to like a big not a big goblin, because I think those just beef up, but like to a shaman.
Yeah, also it was on
Getting
the
a tome
arrows.
of power.
Remember that the girl got shot with the arrow and he gave her the antidote for the poison.
I didn't think it was an antidote for a poison. I thought that was just to heal her up.
I think that was like an anti-venom.
What?
They also apparently it does explain.
It's just like, what the fuck is going on?
It does explain what the poison is. It's not actually poison, from what the person with
it's like species and like all this kind of stuff.
It's the old time poisons,
Oh my
what
God.
people used
I love
back in
tomato dragons.
Oda Nobunaga days.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I just listened all that you did. What did you say? So I have a suggestion. I think we underrated the kids, because if you read the Lord of the
I
Flies,
shared our link on the Discord.
we have
Lord of the Flies.
like a lot of children who need to survive after a plane crash, and they have maybe 10 years old. So if they're able to survive and create a new society by themselves on an island, I think goblins are able to make traps and have
But they
a
could have.
little of intelligence.
But they could have. The ending of the Lord of the Flies, they kill each other until an adult comes and saves them.
Yeah, it's true.
Wouldn't the
goblins do the
goblins
same.
be?
All right. Well, we have the anime counterpart, Much and Waxay survive.
Wouldn't goblins being dumb
And-
just be a racist stereotype? God damn! No, don't even get me started on that.
You're gonna get me kicked off
Well,
YouTube.
I think it's not wrong to say that goblins represent an outsider.
Yeah, I do think that's like completely valid, and considering that, like, I think that's probable considering the fact that like it's Yaruoke, so like it's like a lot of anonymous people coming together, and so like this sentiment can very much be like a thing.
Yeah, I mean, like the goblins can really just be a stand-in for the people you don't like on 2 channel.
Yeah, you know, it's like
So anyone that remotely is left.
it's like if Poe wrote a fantasy story.
That there would be I think it would be a lot worse if Paul wrote it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so like the goblins are childlike and they take fertile women. I see some doujinshi being
Oh, there's already dungeons
Oh, yeah, I'm
of Goblin
sure
Slayer,
there's
and
doujinshi.
specifically that one scene.
yes, but I was never mind.
I know what you meant though.
All right, so let's go on to the okay. So, what sort of manga will you scanlate? So JD and I are working together with some other folks. We're going to be scanlating Chirori, which is it doesn't have an English release, and like there are no scanlation groups covering it. So we decided to give it a shot. Looking forward to the next Isekai continuation. Also an Isekai junkie here. Oh, nice, good stuff. It's always really funny, like when you see people who are like really into Isekai, they're like really into it,
Yep.
and then like everybody else is just like, yeah, it's a thing, but it's just like I don't give a shit.
No, Isekai is fucking amazing. Oh, whoops, sorry. It's amazing.
How many Isekai did you read?
How many do I read? I don't fuck. I don't know. Just because I don't keep track of it.
Come in stroking.
I don't know. I've seen only a bit over 700 anime. I don't keep track of how much is in what genre or what kind.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I still am taking forever to update my MAL to be everything I've seen. I think it's only at like 550 at the moment. Oh yeah, the Isekai crossover. I am waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, me too.
Every single thing in there is something I love.
Overlord Konosuba,
And
ReZero.
Yojin Shin and ReZero. Yojin, yeah.
Yojo Senki.
Well, maybe we can have another character after. I
Yeah,
think they don't reveal all of them in the first place.
You know, chasing perspective. You say Log Horizon, Dot Hat Sign, SAO crossover. I think we could just compromise with another season of Log Horizon.
Where was that? Okay, so let's get through the comments first.
Sorry.
We always get bogged out. We always get bogged down, or I always get bogged down because I can't moderate for shit. When will the next Isekai video come out? That'll depend on a bunch of factors.
Yeah, you're taking too
including the
long.
editing.
You just released it today, but that is still taking too long of a time to come out with the next one.
Yeah, you should have 5 more videos out by now, Joe.
Yeah, it's been 16 hours.
Oh man, they
thought you-
discover a lot.
I patrored you because I thought you were a daily uploader.
I always try to aim for like a month, but it always ends up being longer than a month. Joe recently caught up on Making a Murder. Oh yeah, this is Scrappy Pivot. How great is an ethno state? Not great. What do you guys think of Goblin Slayer? We've already done that. Memory phone, RAM phone, random access memory. Where am I? You are at the pause and select post video live hangouts. Look at Anime Troll.
No, it's where I am.
Oh, where I. Okay, well, moving on. Look at Anime Troll says.
It's a Counter-Strike reference.
Okay. I don't play that.
Neither do I.
Thoughts on the recent drama?
All right, okay, moving on. All right, next one here. Okay, thoughts on the recent drama between Chibi and Snob.
I have a script.
Snob is. Well, Rita, what are your thoughts on this? Because you have.
Hey, here's the thing.
Jesus Christ, this sounds like something that if you know it, you know that it's bad.
Yes. Okay. Here's the thing. I talk to Snob almost every single day. Well, he DMs me. That's why. And I talk to him all the time. He's a hoot, but I don't agree with how far he's taking this, and which is why I'm actually just making this script. You know the song "Treat You Better," right? I'm doing a parody and going to do Snob's voice and having pretty much Snob singing like I could treat Chibbit. I don't like the Chibbits, and I know they don't like elitists. And it's going to just be like this kind of love song, and I'm going to try to edit it with Snobs singing it.
Man, I have my issues with Snob ever since I offered him $20 to review a movie, and then he kept recommending movies he'd rather review. And then I was just like, wait, if you're going to do this anyways, then why would I give you $20 to request a review?
Yeah. Wait, how long ago was that? Because he has changed what he accepts now.
I think that was like a year ago.
Oh, never mind.
Does he accept anything now?
He accepts from a list usually.
Oh, that's
Yeah. Counterpoint. I've known Snob for 10 years at least, and he has
Whoa.
not changed.
That's a long time to know Snob.
Yeah.
Did you know him back when he used to in his My Little Pony days?
Yikes. Thankfully not.
Yikes. I imagine Rito is just browsing like Anime Planner or whatever, and he looks exactly like he does now. Same sunglasses, same katana on his back, but he's just got like the mid-2000s Smash Mouth haircut. And he's like, "Oh, what's this?" It's Snob.
How the fuck did you know that?
You know, just a good guess of character. Also, did you know that Snob is Greek?
Yes. I just remember that one photo that one person who went to go visit Snob just so they could take a photo on this ledge, and then they stand as tall as they can to make Snob seem very small.
Oh my god, that is such an alpha move. He just T-posed on him, my dude.
Like they flew all the way out there just to do that.
But yeah, I don't know what the controversy is, and I'm guessing I don't want to know.
Do you want me to explain it?
Well, he just said.
Well, is it civil?
No, I was
Is it
asking
a
Pause
civil
Select
disagreement?
because
It's never civil.
like here's the thing. If it's enough to where Snob has been picking on Chibi for about a year and Chibi's never responded, you know it must have been a huge thing.
Really?
Yeah,
Is
Chibi
that
doesn't
how it
respond to
works?
Snob. But like he did respond to Snob this time, and he responded to Snob like how like Ned Flanders from the Simpsons episode Hurricane Eddie, where he blows up on the entire town.
Yep.
The entire town is Snob.
Nice.
I saw
Yeah.
JD.
I just laughed. I was laughing so hard at both of them. Even Snob's like, oh, he was making jokes when people were saying you should sue Snob. And then Snob was saying, Chibi, the court was like, he said this, court, it was the court. What did Snob do? And it said Chibi said, he told the truth. And I'm like, God damn it, Snob.
Okay, let's see here. What do we have? I used to like Anime Snob, but now like Chibi is a far greater content creator. I'm telling you, Scrappy, you come in here willing to debate the ethno-state status of Japan. Manny Depresso says, "What is your educational background?" I have a double bachelor of arts and a master of arts.
I don't know. I disagree with that Chibi Snob thing. I still say Snob's a better content creator.
I thought you were going to disagree on what degrees he has.
I know. I just saw that comment.
I disagree with the fundamental concept of having degrees.
Well, I mean, I kind of disagree with that a little bit as well.
But you're like American, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, you actually have to go into debt for these things.
So isn't that evidence that they're worth something if you have to?
No, they're not worth anything if it's a gender studies degree.
Oh, what
God.
the fuck? And gender studies now. God damn. God damn. God
What?
damn, son. Well, I wouldn't say that's proof that they're worth something. I'd say that's proof that there's blatant exploitation happening.
Ugh. I don't know. I see. I just see gender studies degree as a welfare program.
Well, okay. So, like, Joe, don't you do French?
I can even explain my position on that.
I have to pass a French.
Doesn't that have feminine nouns?
Most of the
So
Romantic
what I'm hearing is that French is sexist.
Okay, so my French teacher has talked about that, and I don't know how much of a issue it is. Damien, you might know. Help me out here. But like certain things are said in specific ways that are almost always like masculine.
Okay, continue.
And like sometimes, man, I wish I paid attention to what she said. But like they tended to reflect like certain behaviors. So like certain behaviors tend to be masculine and others tend to be feminine. And so like there's a weird, slightly sexist dimension to like. I don't know if it's unique to French though.
No, I mean
think
what
that's
you
how
just
it happens
described
in-
is in English too.
I was gonna say it's in
I think that's
every
like a-
romance language.
Yeah, I think that's like that's a product of like pretty much all of the Romance languages.
Yeah, because I forget most of it, but I remember when I took Latin, that was also kind of sort of the case.
Yeah, you should take Icelandic. It's the pure Gothic language.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the only one, right?
Yeah, because like it was completely like untouched for so long.
Yeah, I have a library on Icelandic history. My favorite one is a book called Wasteland with Words, which sounds pretty accurate.
Wasteland with words. Okay, let's see here. Sweet Life of Dio Brando said that's a pretty good pun.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy.
I like the unique setting of isekai anime. The worlds are usually interesting, like Overlord, ReZero, Konosuba, and No Game No Life. I think that I mean, I guess I kind of disagree, but I think that's like I think it's like a little bit of a survivor like bias in a way. Because like
you mean he survived the show?
Well, I'm saying that like the shows that tend to have the more interesting like worlds tend to be the ones that get adapted and tend to like get noticed by a lot more people.
Are you sure? Like I saw that one world with smartphones. I don't think you can beat that.
Bruh, my dude, when he into tell me, all right, okay. Recent developments, he goes into a mech to save the princess of Nokia from ancient evil. Are you telling me that is poor world building? That's genius. Which I've told the author multiple times in varying levels of Japanese competency over Twitter. I'm surprised he's not blocked me yet. So, wow, I loved your most recent chapter. Very. Please respond back to me. Okay. Actress girl will kill them with her werewoman powers. The 12 Kingdoms? Cool. Melancholy says, talk about Kumoko. A cute spider girl suffers in Otherworld.
Naiwa.
That's just Overlord.
Kumoko is like so. Like Damien and I are going to talk about Kumoko like a little bit later on.
Kumoko.
J'adore Komo desu ga Danika. That's one of my favorite tensei.
Wait, I recognize that voice. Damin, you're the one who was in the Isekai video, weren't you?
Yes.
Of course.
It's all coming together.
Yes, he is the Professor Isekai.
I'll fight you later.
Oh yeah, Unknown Otaku is the one who was just like, I will hold my ground. And Damien was just like, I will fuck him up.
I gotta say, the thing that made me most excited for the video was when I saw the thumbnail with Wataru, and then it was in it for like half a second.
Yeah, half a second, yeah. Well, like, okay, so I found like what happened was when I was editing, I found like so what I usually try to do is whenever like stuff is mentioned, I usually try to watch them so I can try and find like the most relevant parts to put in. So I found like torrent for it, but it was just like, yeah, it's gonna be done in like 2 weeks. And I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to get oh man, 2 weeks. You know, like I'm just gonna get a picture. I won't be able to like watch that and like finish it and like use footage for that. 3 weeks later, I finished the video.
All right. Well, there may or may not be a site called Mega, and there may or may not be a file on that Mega later.
Is it on there?
No, later.
Oh, okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you. This is just so fast. Well, thank you. Okay. Yeah, I remember that was like the thumbnail for like it before like it got uploaded and just shows up for like a second.
Yeah. But you watched it, didn't you, Damien?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Qu'y a-t-il? On m'appelle? Did you talk to me?
Yes. I did not. I think I've seen like 7 episodes, but I really loved Wataru. Did you watch it? Did you enjoy it?
Majin Wataru?
Yes.
I it's in plan to watch, but I have a lot of isekai I need to watch Dunbine first. Even if I'm sure Wataru is better because it's more fun. Because Dunbine is a Tomino anime, and Tomino is not really fun. It's kill them all Tomino, you know. So I'm sure Majin Wataru is more like a Majin Guru Guru Isekai version with mecha. So I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy it.
That's a pretty interesting description. Majin Guru Guru Isekai with mecha.
If anyone can put that in the chat.
Yep. Copy. Copy address.
Delicious.
Delightful.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, we're goblins will go for traps. Oh, this is still Goblin Slayer. Okay.
Oh yeah, the conversation about Goblin Slayer. There was a lot of things that were being posted while we were still talking. Like all of that's really old.
Okay. Okay. Let's try and blast through this because I want to make sure that everybody has a voice because I don't have like 1 million subs, so I can't ignore.
Oh my god, shaman goblins are Jacob. Ooh.
Have Okay, shaman goblins have a fair mental intelligence, not a moral one. Okay, cool.
I prefer Remonster.
Remonster is like weird.
Yeah, but it explains the intelligence of his character because they are goblins but smart.
It's also like one of the. It's also like one of the isekai where like. It's also one of the isekai where like the protagonist is like absolutely like has like no moral sense of anything, where he's just like, I have to get better. And I'm going to do anything I need to get better.
You're saying he's a sociopath.
Yeah, Vess who even talked about the African children down there. That's how far ago it is.
Oh, I see. You say it like kids aren't inherently evil. Well, yes, you got me there, Edward. I concede to your argument.
I mean, humans in general, just inherently.
Wouldn't goblins be being dumb?
I already read that off, and then you said I was gonna get it demonetized.
Oh, okay. Is it ever actually established that goblins are dumb? Yes, very early. It's mentioned goblins have the
multiple times, by the way.
Multiple times. Okay, I have African. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I've reneged on my comments about African child soldiers and goblins. That'll be clear. Okay.
Do you like the manga or light novel
of goblins?
More?
So the light novels of Goblin Slayer, they kind of fall into like the same thing that like Not Okay do, which is just like, yeah, now I use the spell. Bing bing badoom. And I don't like that kind of writing for Not Okay, so I don't really like it. But like the manga one is like the manga one is like much more sexual about its presentation of female bodies.
I mean, it actually showed the females enjoying it.
It's like
that one scene that everyone complained about in the anime. They actually enjoyed it inside the manga.
So like the scene that bothers me in the manga, right, is like when it first shows the childhood friend, where she's like naked and like, well, I think she's like naked or very, very skimpily dressed, and like there's
that's
like
just every childhood friend.
Well, there's a panel. There's a panel in this grim, like goblin killing story where the childhood friend is introduced, and her tits are popping out of the panel, and I'm just like,
absolutely on the peak.
I'm just like, what is this aiming for? What is happening?
I mean, that just sounds like a good manga.
That's weird. In my version, she has no tits.
So, like, the problem here, right? Here's the problem I'm having. So the problem here is that, like, with that introduction, all of a sudden in the manga, I'm like, okay. So when like the manga goes into scenes of like rape or like soon to be rape, I'm just like, how much of this is the artist into?
All of it.
Whereas with the light novels, it's not as like, it takes it a little bit more seriously, but you know, it also like has this like, now I use this spell, whoa, kind of presentation. Are you interested in scanlating books? If my Japanese ever gets good enough to do that, sure. One
thing about Goblin Slayer we thought of, all those girls that are going back to the village, wouldn't they be carrying goblins?
Hmm?
No, wouldn't they be
right.
impregnated
Weren't
by the
the
goblins?
women impregnated by the goblins? Yeah, maybe.
Well, maybe an abortion.
Cool.
Is Goblin Slayer pro-abortion?
I mean, I think humans should just
so.
be pro-abortion.
Right.
Every single time someone gets pregnant.
Maybe they have an abortion spell.
I guess
Jesus, that fetus.
I was gonna say that if you didn't.
Honestly, okay. Honestly, this sounds like something Manime Matt would do. Player about abortion.
Yeah, I guess I have a question. Like, I guess what's the important for Naroke? Is it like more important, or rather, how important is it that the character kind of retains their knowledge of the previous world, kind of thing? Like, for instance, in Slime or in the Dragons one, what was the name of it again? The characters
Zaryu Tensei.
pretty much,
You mean Fairy Tale?
pretty much have not brought up the world that they were living in.
Mhm.
So while they may have brought skills to the world, they're not really thinking back on that. They're just using those skills.
Yeah. So from where I'm seeing it. Oh, I guess. Like, are you asking me or Damien?
Well, the conversation. Anybody can talk.
So
what's the question?
How important is it to Naruto that like of the protagonist retaining their knowledge of their previous world?
Oh. Well,
I just
maybe
think it would be more interesting.
I think it's interesting because if you put that in mind, in Naruto and even in Isekai, all of the characters have their old memories. They don't lose them, so they can use their knowledge of their precedent lives or to use it in this new world.
Do you want me
And
to say it?
in Tensei, even if it's a reincarnation, they still have their own memories, so they have the knowledge and new overcheat power, and they need to learn to use it, like in Jaryu Tensei or Tensei Shitara Slime Dataken.
Yeah, so I'm asking how important are the memories as opposed to the skills?
Okay, what I was gonna say is Wait, do you mean in terms of the story and writing, or do you mean in terms of actually having it?
Well, if we're talking about Noroke as like kind of like acting upon fulfilling the desire of the reader, really, an unconscious desire. Like, how important is it that the skills that they utilize make them think of the previous world?
So conceptually, it's very important because like there are also like not okay where like so at the very least, what these memories do or what they tend to do is that like it recontextualizes their actions or it shapes their actions in relation to what their previous life was like. So like there would be moments where the characters would be all like, oh yeah, in my previous life I was like this, and like, but I'm not going to be like that now this time. I'm prepared this time. Or they use some of their skills or their habits from the previous world, like in Jaryu Tensei, for instance, right? So Jaryu Tensei, even though it's not brought up very often that he is reincarnated, he does nevertheless make mentions that like one, that he understands the plight of some people because like he's had experiences with salaryman in his past life that have had these similar issues. Or two, that like he's going to try and be like a good manager because he's worked on like team projects before. He's mentioned that. And so and in slime, it's kind of similar where the main character sort of sympathizes with the girl that he eventually assimilates, because like they're both from like the main world, and so like they both have this similar drive, and that sort of gives them to their connection. So the memories are always there, and they're sometimes not okay where the main characters don't know that they're actually reincarnated, and then boom, all of a sudden something happens, and then they realize that they've been reincarnated, or they've been brought over, and the memories come flooding in, and then that shapes who they are as a person, and that kicks off the story. So I would say that they're at least conceptually relevant, but like how important they are varies from story to story.
Right.
All right, let's see here. Okay, let's see. Smith Cats. How good is ReZero?
Very good.
I like it.
It's an isekai. It's good.
Actually, since I see that one person being like, I like Amelia in there, I want to say something about that scene.
Like, okay, he's wrong because the real best girl is Satelia.
Debatable. But I want to say something about that I love Amelia scene. I think something that I'm not sure if people missed it or like I don't know what, but when I know people are complaining about like, oh, it came out of left field or whatever. But like for me, like it was blatantly obvious that Subaru liked Amelia from the beginning, and like the lead up to that, I was like, why don't you just tell her you like her, you fucking idiot? And so I was like, oh, maybe he just doesn't realize he actually has feelings for her, doesn't want to admit it. So for me, I felt that scene was necessary because Subaru had to realize or admit his feelings for Amelia.
Cool. I don't
Crickets. I just wanted to see how awkward it'd get.
Okay, let's see here. Oh no, I just skipped again. Mogging the Snobling. What? Did you hear about the anime cancellation for Nidome no Jinsei, also an isekai light novel? Yep.
Yep.
Of course.
Nidome no Jinsei.
Eh,
Uh, hmm.
Okay, but what do you think about Yamakan's comments about it?
What did he say about that? I remember he said something about that, but I don't remember.
I don't know. It was probably something against women.
Nidomino Jinsei?
This is Yamakan strikes again.
Yeah, that was what got his Twitter removed, apparently.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I think I
Isekai
think it was
with face of
against the
Yamakan.
Chinese, but
Yeah, the author was like, yeah, the author called the Chinese bug people.
yeah. It was not the good time because just before we discovered the director of Neji no Suzume was a neo-Nazi, so
Like, the author literally called Chinese people bug people. And then he was just
What is
like,
the
"Oh no,
problem?
I didn't mean it like that." Even though right there in the kanji of like, what's the kanji for bug? Like, who are you trying to trick here?
No, he needs to go on the defensive and say, "Well, what's wrong with doing that?"
Well, he did eventually like own up to it, right? He was like, "Okay, I'm very sorry this happened. You know, like I totally deserve this, etc., etc."
Except you have to prove why it's wrong to call him that.
I'm going to kill you one day. Unknown.
Please.
I'll show you.
You'll drop a diss track and I'll have nothing else to do besides leave YouTube.
No, he'll just kill you.
Knights Crossholder says, listening to you guys pronounce anime titles IRL and whatever respect I had is destroyed completely. What are you talking about? I can pronounce No Game, No Rife perfectly.
So like, okay, so about Nidomi no Jinsei though, right? About the story itself, I would have actually liked to see how people react to it, like if it had it been adapted as an anime, because like the protagonist is like not he's kind of like a little different from a lot of other isekai, especially not okay, which is like he's a very surly asshole of a person. He's like,
do you talk about the author or the main character?
the main character.
Oh.
King is like, okay, sure, yeah. I'll humor that, sure, whatever. Being a YouTuber but not having a sexy ASMR voice is a crime. Well, sorry.
Go to jail, Joe.
Listening to you guys.
Well, thankfully, Pause and Select's not doing any crimes then.
Listening to you guys pronounce anime titles in real life in whatever respect I have is destroyed completely.
That's what I read just a bit ago. Okay.
Opinions on the YouTube channel AAOX. I have no idea what the channel is.
What? I've actually never heard of them. Let me look.
AAOX.
Is it an AniTuber? Because if it is, I would be even more shocked that I don't know them.
Oh, it is an AniTuber.
Okay, I think I misspelled that.
Okay, let's see here.
AAOX.
Okay, so they do like reviews.
Oh wow. There's those thumbnails, man. Cookie cutter. But
they're like consistent, right?
What's his question?
But I don't know. I've never actually seen this channel before.
Let's see here. When are you gonna cover more mecha on your channel? I did it. I mean, I don't know a lot about mechas, which is why I don't cover it. I usually don't dive into things unless like I'm pretty sure I'm familiar with the subject.
All you need to do is go ask Econ. He'll tell you all about the hero's journey.
Okay, next this one. Scrappy says the Bulgarian kid sounds like Pepe Le Pew. Wow, Damien, I didn't know you were Bulgarian, my dude. I thought you were French.
He's been fooling you this entire time.
Yeah, I'm Pepe Le Pew. Did you know in France Pepe Le Pew is an Italian?
Oh, he's wait, is he voiced by an Italian or is the character Italian?
As its character is Italian.
Oh, that's really funny.
Because French can understand the joke about Pepe Le Pew is French.
That's really funny.
What's the most degenerate non-hentai anime you've ever watched?
I have no idea what this is referring to. They actually enjoyed it.
Oh,
That was about when I was talking about that, the one scene from Goblin Slayer that everyone complained about. I was saying in the manga they actually enjoyed it.
the most degenerate
What?
anime that is not a hentai I've ever watched
The R word.
is
really
Young
bad
The
Black
most
Jack.
degenerate non-hentai. Wow. I have someone.
Yeah, Young Blackjack.
What? Why? I know it's shitty, but it's not disturbing.
The disgust in anti-historical and nationalist themes in it disturbed me.
Oh. I'm sure I'm sure it's degenerate, but it's so hilarious. So maybe Kakumeki Valvrave.
Did not find it funny.
Degenerate, like Imasoko ni Eruboku.
Most degenerate. I'd say Code Geass Season 2.
Oh! Hardcore.
Yeah, like those characters really were eating way too much fucking pizza. That is not healthy.
They would have meetings and there would be fucking pizza.
I mean, here's the thing. It all depends on what you define as most degenerate, because stuff people find degenerate, others would find normal, and other things they would find degenerate.
But yeah, I'm assuming that's.
I'm sure you don't think the end of Blood Sea is sane.
Yeah, it's pretty sane.
I don't know. I
just going around with those bunnies. Those are pretty cute bunnies. I don't know how you can't see that as sane.
All right,
when I watch it, I'm gonna puke.
Wait, actually, no, the most degenerate, easily Ghost Stories English dub.
Realize the falsehood.
No. Reading suggestions similar to Patrick Galbraith. Okay, so Neil Dissett, I highly recommend you read. Okay, so I wouldn't say it's similar, but I highly recommend you read Anne Allison's Precarious Japan, because it is hilarious in a weird way. Because like there's like this one section of the book where Anne Allison is talking about like maid cafes. While she's with Patrick Galbraith, and he's just like, yeah, it's very interesting because it's like this like very interesting transgressive space, and she's like, okay, cool. Like it's just like the funniest thing. She's like, all right, I'll humor you.
Remember, she called it substandard fare as well.
Yes, yeah, she said the food was substandard. So she said like they were clearly not there for the food, which was substandard. It was just like, man, we were just throwing shade all over this man. Let's see here.
Okay, but by similar, do they mean? Well, what do they mean?
I don't know.
Maybe the University of Wollongong guy for the legals.
Mark McClellan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, end of Cool Japan. There you
Yep.
go.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, let's see here.
Oh, okay. Did the Isekai period also mean the end of Cool Japan?
I would say probably not, considering the Tokyo Olympics are coming up.
Yeah, but they're all escaping into an alternative world. They obviously don't want to be there.
Tokyo Olympics.
I
Just
think
wait for the octopus.
Well, I think like this is something that like Damien and I are probably gonna have to talk about in the next one, which is that like Cool Japan just kind of gets magnified, especially with like food isekai. We're just like, wow, food. Grilled fish?
oh
It's
my
going
God.
to Japan just like being in an isekai.
Oh my God, Isekai Nobu. That thing is so nationalist. Oh my God.
Wow, I didn't know the Japanese were so good at frying chicken.
Joe, come on. Like
Did
when you
know
go
that
to
you've been
Japan,
using eel wrong? Everyone else
Oh my
all the
God.
time.
Oh my god.
Joe,
Wow, I didn't know that you could debone eel.
Joe, like when you go to Japan, it's like a whole nother world. Therefore, it's an isekai. Japan.
Dude, they literally said that in Gate. In Gate, they literally said that. When the girls from like the other world go into Japan, they were just like, it feels like we stepped into another world. Like,
Just in case if you didn't know, it was an isekai.
I still think the best part in Gate, and I've mentioned this to Rito multiple times, was we're at the very end of season 2, where like the medic literally looks at the screen and she's like, "We're the JSDF. Everyone loves us."
After they killed all the others.
I thought the best part of Gate was, if you insult my waifu, I will kill you. Ugh.
Well, but to
Or
be
just
fair,
all
that's-
that political styling.
A friend of mine mentioned about like, because like Gate was like written during the Iraq War, like there's like a very sort of like how can I describe it? There's like a very like Junichiro Koizumi vibe to the whole thing, where it's just like
What?
like Japan's Junichiro Koizumi, who's like he's
charismatic prime minister.
Yeah, he's got like very like anime hair. He does. It's all like slicked back and everything. He's got like this like steely silver fox, and he's like, I love neoliberalism. What's wrong with it?
Nothing.
Young people these days, fuck you. How dare these Japanese medics get caught as hostages? You know.
I mean, was there anything wrong with Passagem? Here's the thing: if no one opposed him, it would have worked out pretty great.
But yeah, it's got that vibe to it. That's all I got. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, okay, so Knight says it's not important plot-wise most of the time, but if you take away the MC knowledge, then what's the point of Isekai? Sort of like Grimgar. Skipped again.
Oh, well, yeah, hang on. I had a thought earlier, which is like, if you take something like the Magic Academy one again, what's it called? Where the main character is superpowered, basically.
Okay.
And he's like a military weapon. You know the one I'm talking. Oh, the Oni-chan one.
Oh,
Oni-sama.
okay, yeah, Mahoka.
Yeah, Mahoka. Like if you take Mahoka, except it turned out that the brother was actually from a different world.
Yep.
Like what's the essential difference there? Like because like if the brother knew that he was from another world, Like, what's the difference?
Yeah, so Damien actually mentioned this like yesterday, where he pretty much just said that like Mahoko was pretty much like isekai, but without the being brought over, or like very not okay. And
Totally not okay.
It's totally not okay. And I think that's like something to consider, which is that like not all isekai are not okay, and not all not okay are isekai. And so
what
like,
is not okay exactly? I've never heard of not okay until now.
watch the video.
I mean, half of it was in a voice I couldn't understand.
There was subs, if that's the case.
I literally mentioned it in the video description and as the top comment. There are subs in case if you have any difficulties.
Sorry for my delightful accent.
Yeah, so like this actually kind of works out because like there was a comment, right? There was a comment on Reddit that I got where somebody was talking about kind of like that a little bit. It was the top comment. Which is like this discussion about like because the author wants to write a chapter where the main character purchases a slave and all that kind of stuff, and it's just like these are like tropes that a lot of not okay isekai tend to have, but like, so my position is that like these aren't new or particularly unique to isekai, or like the sentiments aren't, because like you can see them already in like for instance like the Battle Academy kinds of stories, which is why like Damien and I like didn't talk about them too much for this first video, because that would imply that there's something innately unique about that convention. But I don't know. So Damien will probably have to correct me on this, but like honestly, I think it's kind of hard to say that isekai do like one specific thing that defines them. It depends on the isekai we're talking about.
I totally agree with that.
In regards to
Isekai, I have a lot of, Isekai is multi-purpose, I think.
Yeah, I think the thing that's catching people is like people are thinking of isekai as like just a genre, but I think it's more like a series of like, I think it's more like a system where it's just like a series of like different conventions that kind of operate in a way that's fairly loose, but not cohesive enough to be considered a genre.
I tend to agree.
Yeah, I mean, I think like genres are such a, I can't call them good.
I don't know. I thought there's only 2 genres.
Yeah, like they're so difficult, right? That like, what's the problem in having an isekai genre? Like, are we going to go into the taxonomy of what romance is? But we don't, do we?
Yeah, we don't. Yeah. Which is why Damien and I are doing it in parts, because we're not trying to do like, this is like the fundamental like take on like isekai. This is just like hopefully just fun explorations of different vectors of isekai, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like if you went too strongly into defining like that, that's also a trap, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, because then all of a sudden you're just gonna get like some guy who's like, well, there's this isekai that completely bucks the whole trend. Well, how about this? And you're just like,
no, it doesn't buck the whole trend. It's just a deconstruction.
I stand by my position that Death March is a deconstruction, a classical Dorinian deconstruction of isekai. And I'm not
absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, talk about degeneracy.
The real deconstruction of isekai is reverse isekai.
People coming into our world.
Yeah, like the demon
recreators, goodbye isekai tensei and stuff.
Devil's a part
and Pacific Rim.
Goodbye, Isekai Tensei.
Someone know Pacific Rim?
I will begrudgingly acknowledge that joke. Because I really did come from another world.
But in a way, it's a kind of reverse isekai.
I mean, yeah. Well, like, okay, so that shows, like, you know, that shows like the limitations of like defining isekai as just as a genre, right? Because now, like, I think it's like a gradient of. I think it's like a series of Venn diagrams, but they're not even like lines. They're like all gradients overlapping with each other. And so, like, understanding the clouds of Isekai. I don't know where the fuck I'm going with this. Sort of like Grimgar. I think. So, like, the thing about Grimgar is that I think Grimgar is a little bit more of an outlier because, like, while it does completely remove the main character's knowledge, it also by removing the main character's knowledge, it doesn't really interrogate what that lack of knowledge entails, right? Like,
and like it had the whole thing of like, this feels natural to me. These words I just understand, etc.
yes. Like, there is an isekai that, like, there is an isekai where the main character does not have it's Mao no Machizukuri, which is like where the main character does not have memories per se, like clear memories of their past life, but the story very much clearly implies that they were reincarnated because the things that they tend to do are like they can create these artifacts, which happens to be a gun. And so, like, there's this implication. I think that one is probably a closer interrogation of like how necessary those memories are. But even then in Mao-sama no Machizukuri, it's like, even though the memories are not explicitly known, they're still subconsciously there. They're sort of like Deridian fragments, you know?
Yeah, I referred to skills earlier. Is that a fair word to use?
Yeah, skills would be good. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure in Grimgar, maybe later in the stories, the characters maybe can recover their memories, and that's the click who make move the stories to the end.
Possibly.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if they stop tributing all they get to some dead person.
No, the best story is Grimgar. It's when all the characters are dying and dead. That's gonna be interesting if it's because it's embraced well, you know, the atmosphere of reality and toughness of this universe, where you can be killed by surprise when you just eat or sleep, which is never happened in other isekai. Or maybe in Goblin Slayer, but it's not an isekai.
Well, it seems just something that is rare to begin with. Just the actual protagonist just dying.
Maybe if they died, they return to their original world, or going to another, like this with this vampire.
Yeah,
and
I
the
mean,
science
like,
fiction chapter, like
dying and not reincarnating.
Yeah, not reincarnated the fourth time. Or...
Yeah. So yeah, I think Yeah, I think Knights. When we're talking about Isekai, we're talking about not okay. I do think that knowledge, specifically not okay, but like it doesn't always have to be not okay. But like when the main character has that memory, it does lead to a certain series of things that happen. So I do think that the memories are important. How important they are varies from story to story.
Yeah, well, I'm interested in that because basically it's a reflection of like our world and our values, right? So, like often that becomes more important. It supersedes the
Yes.
I think the best
Isekai
example of
world.
this would be Code Geass. When
What?
she loses all of her memories and get amnesia, and she pretty much goes against what she was originally fighting for.
Okay.
Right. Um,
As like if you lose your memories, you're kind of like a blank slate, and you can easily adapt into whatever new thing you are. I think it's still more interesting to have your memories going into another world, because then you'll have to try to adapt while also keeping to what you were originally doing. And it's more of, you also remember your old life, so most of the time you're trying to get back. Not always. There's stuff like No Game No Life where they don't care to get back, but
yeah, like well, I'm referencing like the values. Like the person comes to the other world with their memories, and then they apply something to that world from their values from the previous world.
well, it all depends on what you want for it. Because I'm saying, like, someone with no memories would have an easier time adapting, I guess, to their way of life. But if you keep your memories, you will have all the knowledge from before to introduce what you previously knew plus what is there.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, I do have the example of the dragons one, where the guy was a programmer, right? Who gets run over and then is born as a child and grows up in that world. Um, Now he knew the previous world, but it's like mentioned like once or twice throughout the entire story. And it's difficult to see where his experiences or values are being applied in that world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say
Um,
it's more so of like a sliding scale.
yeah. So yeah, I'm just interested in how important that is.
There are like some isekai that are like where that previous memory are actually insanely important. Like there's one, I don't have the name offhand right now, but there's one where it's like a young girl, and then she gets into like, she grows up to like the age of 7 or something, and then she gets into an accident, and then she realizes that like she was reborn. So like from birth to the age of 7, she doesn't know that she was reborn.
Oh,
And
that
then,
reminds me of something.
yes, and then she does know, and then it boom, it completely changes how she approaches everything, because she's like, okay, now I just want to live like the cool, chill life.
Oh yeah, is that Otome game?
Maybe.
The one was announced an adaptation recently.
It's not that one, but that one also kind of works.
But this one has the same. She wake up in this bed and with a scar on his forehead, and she remembers she's in a new world, and she come to another world,
Yes.
and she need um to escape his home death, because she's the bad
Yeah, so not that
the
one.
bad girl of this story, but yeah, not that one. Okay,
Not that one, yeah.
but tell me the the name of your one.
Okay.
Let me load it up here. Ugh. So yeah, the main thing I was just trying to say is that like Yeah, it's like a sliding scale. Like sometimes they do absolutely nothing, but like they're just like kind of there, and the memories are just kind of there, and they don't really seem to do much.
Yeah, I guess I'm suggesting two things: that it's tied to like values from our world, and also that I think it also suggests like how much the immersion in the fantasy world is.
Mm.
Like when those experiences are not being carried over, like the focus becomes more the fantasy world.
Mm. Yeah. Okay.
The famous Jober.
So it's called The Reincarnated One Doesn't Want to Cheat.
Send me the title. I need to check this.
Okay, let's see here. I need the manga dex link.
Yeah.
In...
Favorite sources.
Oh my god, no manga found! It's probably a manga update. It's gotta be a manga update, my dude.
Okay.
Oh, I feel like manga decks probably use the Japanese title. There we go. 聖者はちと望まない. I love the general like consistency of convention, because like this was also about a girl who had a blow to the head and then she remembered and then she completely changed her behavior. So like for a good moment you had me, you just kept describing. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. Until we got to the death flag part, and I was like, oh, that's a different one.
Oh, that's I might miss something. I'm sure I read it. Well, I read all of them.
Okay, let's see here. Next question is, what do you guys think of Pedantic Romantic's recent video? Anime has a sexual harassment problem. I have no idea. I don't.
I watched it. We were about to actually do a stream on it like 30 minutes after it came out.
Okay.
And then we decided against it.
Okay.
We were like, we're just gonna let it go. We did it last time with his her Goblin Slayer video. We'll just let this one go.
No game, no waifu.
It'd be like that sometimes, though.
Okay, let's see here. I think on the topic of isekai, I find that older isekai ground their characters on going back via family or personal connections, whereas more modern isekai are hell-bent on a power trip. So it doesn't always have to be like that. So like, so one isekai is Yubi wa Monogatari. Kekkon Yubi wa Monogatari, I think. That's what it's called.
Yeah, that's
the Ring King. He constantly jumps back and forth. And he constantly jumps back and forth, but it's still like a very like power trippy kind of thing, which is why like I'm very uneasy about saying that like isekai like fundamentally mean this, because we can always find like a lot of counter things to it. Also, he bangs a bunch of women.
I mean, so does the. I forgot. Never mind.
Kekkon Yubi wa Monogatari, Tales of Wedding Rings.
Yeah, Tales of the Wedding Rings. Oh yeah, it's the Ring King. Oh, Ring King. I love you so much, Ring King. Save our world, Ring King, by banging all these women for us. Whoa. Wow.
I don't like this one.
Bad Damien, you are Professor Isekai. Doesn't matter if you like it or not. You have to read it. So
yeah.
the top
You know, I read Parallel Paradise.
That's true. That's true. He did recommend me to read Parallel Paradise, and I was like, "What kind of problems would he have with us?" And I read it, and I was like, "Oh, this is weird."
Okamoto is so.
Like something's wrong.
What's wrong with this guy?
I asked this in the comments on the Isekai video, but it seems like a good place to ask. Would you, Joe, and Damien consider Log Horizon to be Isekai?
Hang on.
Yes.
With you, Joe, and Damien.
I think Nekomomo's question is you.
He's asking
Joe,
me.
It's like me, myself, and Damien.
No, he clearly is talking to me as well.
No, Joe just counts as two people.
I would consider Log Horizon to be Isekai.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it has an isekai flavor to me, but I mean, it is, you know, a game.
I can
I mean,
explain
so
it.
it's
They have the
overloaded.
self-conscious to be in another world, even if it's resembled to a game, so it's an isekai.
Yeah, you know the details, though, don't you?
Who?
About Log Horizon.
Who?
Damien.
What?
He said, "You know the details about Log Horizon."
What I know about Log Horizon?
Yeah. Do you know what happens in it?
I just seeing the 2 seasons of the anime. So what happened after?
That's enough. That's enough.
Oh, that's enough. You know, in Log Horizon, even if it's the game world, it's a new world because NPC, you know, acting
mean
like
left
real
Twitter?
person.
Yeah, and they feel pain. That's another one.
Yeah, too.
That they can even use ghost limbs. It's amazing.
I mean, in SAO, they felt pain.
Yeah, they felt pain, right? But they are not incarnate in the world, and they know they are trapped in a game.
Did they feel
So
pain?
they don't have the self-conscience to be in another world.
Did they feel pain in the first VR? I thought they felt.
Yeah, I think so.
It-
Yeah. Because
very
if you
minimal.
read the special chapter with the
Yeah.
Oh, the pain one?
yeah,
16.5.
she feel pain.
Okay. First of all, all right. Okay. So first of all, that doesn't count because the author said that was non-canonical.
Okay, we can talk about the ice
You
plane.
can say whatever
No,
you
here's the
like, but
thing.
my
We can
friends
talk
enjoy
about-
me
No,
reading
we can
that.
talk
and
about the
you-
they
ice
can-
episode where they
can't feel pain in the
dug
first
holes
because
and
if they feel pain, it was horrible, you know.
No, I
If
was
they are
saying
hit by sword, even if a game, if you feel pain, you feel the sword cut through your skin and your internal organs. It's awful. So you don't need to feel pain in the game. So they don't feel pain in Sword Art Online.
Okay, so
they,
do they?
they feel
or do they
it's
not
like
feel pain? I'm
very,
confused.
very minimal.
I
It's
thought
like-
like they felt like discomfort.
Yeah, I think it's a word, discomfort.
Okay.
I was pretty sure it was said to be like a very small pain.
Yeah, that's a discomfort.
Well, I mean, discomfort could be not sitting on a couch, right?
Well, you just imagine the scene where Kirito was in the on the bridge and all of them assault him and cut him through all parts.
Yeah, he just had to soldier on
if
through,
it's
like,
not
a
discomfort,
point.
I'm sure he's not really happy to feel it.
Yeah, you know.
No, here's where you're wrong. You see, Kirito is just that badass.
Oh,
It's just like Helsing. Remember when Alucard
yeah.
got gunned down and just
of course.
stood there? And Kirito's on the level of Alucard, man.
is that another
Yeah,
one of the
sure. Kirito is a true black swordsman. Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, they never leave the world. So so I don't know what Damien's position is on this, but like for me, they don't have to be unable to leave a world for it to be isekai. A lot of isekai have stories where the protagonists are unable to leave the world that they've been sent to. But there are isekai that like where they can leave the world. It's just that like they have a tendency to go back to the world they've been transported to.
Yeah, I mean, like it's very obviously something written like about playing Final Fantasy 14 and a couple of other games.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
If you want to live in that world, that sounds pretty isekai.
Yeah, I think a way to describe like a common thread is like it's like playing a JRPG, but like you don't start off from the beginning, you start off from the new game plus. So like you have a bunch of things already, and then you kind of just like cheese out or chill out.
Like in the new gate?
Yes, in the new gate, yes. Well, so in the new gate, it's like I like the new gate, so I'm gonna die on this sword.
The manga is awful, but the new gate is cool.
New gate, but really cool. He marries his NPC, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is what I wanted all along.
That's but here's the thing, Joe. Gate is clearly the best way to figure out if a show is bad in one episode.
God damn it.
Gate is bad.
I can't say Gate is bad because Rito changed my mind on Gate, which is that like it did what it wanted to do as well as it could have.
Okay, here's the thing. I've never fully seen Gate, and it's mostly because after a few episodes, then I was like, I know I'm just going to get pissed off at this because I've been in the military. And I know almost everything's just like completely fucking wrong. So I'm just like,
you've been in the JSDF.
And then I'm probably gonna keep getting pissed off the more I watch it.
Yeah, did you see enough of Gate to see the scene with the helicopter playing full buffle, the ride of the Valkyries? Right.
Oh man, that would be funny. But
it's like, yeah,
I mean, the JSDF does have the highest funding per member of any military,
and that's why I'm pretty sure Outbreak Company is a better gate than Gate.
Okay, unknown.
Yes.
Here's what I recommend, right? Here's what I recommend. You know those videos that have like, yeah, badminton player reacts to badminton anime?
Yeah.
You should do that. You should be all former service member reacts to Gate.
Former member of intelligence military.
Yeah.
Reacts to banana fish.
I guarantee you that video will blow up. And if it doesn't blow up, then I rescind my guarantee.
Okay.
No,
I can just do that with everything.
Someone make it in French, and it didn't blow up. Ex-military
intelligence person. I can't even talk right now. Reacts to banana.
I would watch that.
But banana is so cute.
Banana.
Gun people down by day and watch banana at night.
Multiple personalities are not realistic. This is not how we were trained to do it.
This is so unapologetically military recruitment. It was hilarious. Yes, it was like that one show, High School Fleet.
Oh, I liked High School Fleet.
Of course you were. Ex-military member. Like High School Fleet. What a surprise.
I just watched High School Fleet for the naval battles.
I know their terminology is all wrong because I also drove the ship a few times. And by a few times, I mean a few hundred times, but...
Leon says, if I wrote an isekai screenplay, would you read it on stream? Absolutely, I would. Absolutely, I would. Phobos, have you guys read the Putin Isekai? Oh, the one where he wants to sit on everything?
Yes, yes, of course. It's one of the better.
Yeah, the one where he wants to sit on everything.
The Raiden King is so
Yeah.
great.
The Ride-On King, yeah. It's pretty entertaining.
Here's the thing: the best military one is clearly just Uzumade.
I don't know if you're fucking with me. I'm legitimately confused now.
Nah, Uzumade is great, but I wouldn't say that one is really like I didn't describe it in a military kind of way. If you saw my video, shameless plug, but
speaking of the, oh yeah, sorry.
Did you even watch Uzumade yet?
No.
Oh man, it is legitimately
That's the one I
great.
told you to watch. What's going on?
It's literally, unironically, one of the best anime this season.
I will get to it.
I will also get to the other the big titted little boy thing you were recommending to watch.
A good anime season. Tell the name.
I'll be right back.
Incriminating, Joe.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
I think I know what show you're on about with it. Where like the mention the little boy, and I remember a friend of mine from Japan telling me like, "Oh, I really like that show. I identify with the main character."
Oh my god, I'm jealous of your friend.
All right, okay, let's see here. Okay, so Gil is in here.
Yep.
Speaking of the Iraq War, I got to rewatch your flag video. Funny enough, that was one of the videos I did not remove from my channel. Rumiko.
Did you talk about Flag the movie or Flag the series?
The series.
Oh.
Rumiko. Oh shit. Oh hey, how's it going? I love Inuyasha. Okay.
All right, I'm back.
So I want to pretend this is Rumiko Takahashi. Holy shit, I googled Junichiro Koizumi. I love his character design.
Yeah, from the Marchong one, right?
Okay. The loose conventions of Isekai is part of the reason why SAO is so commonly associated with it. Alicization is pretty Isekai. Only good Isekai is Escaflowne. How good is Death March? It's not very good.
It's awful.
It's not very good.
I mean, Joe, are you a big Death March fan?
No. But I'm willing to respect what I think it's trying to do, regardless of whether I think it's good or not.
I've never actually seen Death March.
Did we talk about an anime with Death March? Is like a Kirito-like with a loli harem, right?
Yep.
Okay, it's not good.
Why? You say it's a lolly harem, then you say it's no good. I mean, you're kind of contradicting yourself there.
Is there a slave? Are we okay with that?
Reverse Isekai is slice of life anime. Duh.
No.
No, it's just specific rim.
If you read one of the most interesting, Goodbye Isekai Taisei is absolutely not a slice of life anime.
Yes, it's very action packed. It's like The Fugitive.
Mm.
I want there to be a scene where like the main character is like standing at like a pipe and he's about to drop off a dam and he's just like, I'm telling you, I didn't do it. And then like the girl's just like, I don't care.
Are there any historical isekais? Ooh, there is Drifters.
So like,
Oh, yeah.
so this is something I've always been interested in, right? Which is that like, so what do you think about this, Damien? Do you think that like ones where characters jump back in time do they have a connection to isekai, or are they like a different kind of thing to you?
Maybe. You know this old shoujo with this girl travel through time to ancient Egypt.
Yeah, we have a
yeah.
ton of like older ones specifically where it's like Japanese aircraft carrier gets like sent back to like some other godforsaken time, and that kind of stuff. And it's like it's not another world, but it is another time.
It's kind of like another world, but not really.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Like, it's fantastical, but it doesn't have the same thing going on.
I mean, then Fate would just be reverse isekai. The whole Fate series.
That sounds like a Anime Mad video. I'm sorry, Anime Mad. If you want to come on and defend yourself, but
no, he shouldn't defend himself, because if he tries to defend himself, it's just going to make him look worse.
I don't know. I mean, like,
yeah,
okay.
I don't know. Reverse isekai just sounds like a sex act to me.
Well,
I mean, if we're going by reverse stuff in hentai, it's always great if it has reverse on it.
That's what a beta would say.
Well, I'm pretty sure if historical isekai is absolutely impossible, except drifters. But
JoJo's reverse isekai because the stand's coming into a new world.
Oh, spoiler!
So Knight's Crossholder says, I think isekai has something similar to VR, sort of the escapism aspect. I think the sentiments are similar, partly because isekai, I think, or at least modern day isekai, largely not okay, are very much informed by like this VR mentality. But they do very much take the leap to like say like this is another tangible physical world. Like there is one isekai, I don't remember the name. There's too many of them. But there is one isekai, for instance, where the main character is like an 80-year-old man, and he likes to play this video game when he's retired, and then he dies playing this game.
Oh, yes, I also like to play this video game.
I mean, I'll be 80 years old and I'll still play Warcraft 3.
He dies playing this VR game, but then he's reincarnated into the world, which is exactly like the game world.
Overlord.
It's not Overlord.
The guy's like Kancha, this. Oh yeah, that's remind me something.
So like there is a clear like I think there's like a clear like I would say like possibly a crossover. I wouldn't say like a lineage, right? Because like they're moving in tandem, it seems to me. Not like in like they're not moving from like one to another. I think they're moving in tandem and they're like inter-implicated with each other.
Yeah, on the reverse side, right? Like generally, I think it doesn't end up working like that. Like for instance, if you look at something like World Trigger, that does have things from another world coming into this world, and then eventually we go into those worlds. But the effect of it is a lot more like science fiction rather than fantasy. And I feel like that's a common element with if you reverse the situation.
Mm-hmm.
You mean like Stargate?
Yeah, sure.
Best
like
reverse. Easy go.
So funny enough, you mentioned that, Rito, because like later on in Gate, the Jietai Gate, in like the last few novels, they do open up another gate. And like in this gate, it's like this like biofuturistic, terrifying Lovecraftian like xenomorph infested universe. Yes.
Wow, I absolutely need to read that.
It's so hype. It's so hype. Also, Itami bangs like everyone. But like spoilers. They have to fight off like this like other universe, and I'm just like, wow, I love the JSDF.
Join the Rangers now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
just before it was Isekai Tensei Nikanshou. This one with the old man who's reincarnated to his video game.
Yes.
Oh man, I just can't get
Excellent, thank you.
time thing out of my head, because if we do accept that time is like an isekai going back in time, then like where would the cutoff be for that? Like how long would it have to be considered an isekai versus not one?
I mean, if you consider time going back in time an isekai, then you have to consider now and then, here and there. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, like I can give my own kind of justification to what I said. Like, I think it becomes more science fiction-y because the focus is actually less on what comes into our world. It's more how our world reacts, and it's centered on our kind of thinking. Whereas in Isekai, it's the fantastical element of the other world that becomes the main driver.
Mm-hmm.
And we often cede the actual what the protagonist has to do is given to
The situation.
the events in the other world. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's see here. Let's try and get caught up here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh my god! I just jumped again. No, my god! Oh my god! We are so far behind.
You are so far behind. Like I told you. Yeah.
Okay, let's try and punch through all this. Okay, as fast as possible. Okay. Alicization is pre-isekai, cool. Only good isekai is Estelfunny, cool. How good is Death March? Not good. Oh fuck me, 111 reviews, cool. Reverse isekai is slice of life anime, duh. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I already read all this.
Isekai smartphone. Hey Jared, what up? Actually, I went to see Joe doing a bit. Are there any historical isekai? What?
Yes, drifters. There's drifters, and if you really count the time thing, Fate. But I don't think we would count the time thing.
Well, I mean, so it also depends on the character for Fate. I think if you want to count that, because
okay, let's get through this first, and then you guys can have your weird Fate fight.
I feel like Fate would be a way too messy of a field.
Yeah,
it's an isekai. What? It's Pan's Labyrinth in isekai. What? Kirito is planet plus level. I'm so confused. Kirito is like
that was
Dante.
when we were talking about Kirito being Alucard.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry Dante, Devil May Cry Dante, Dante's Inferno Dante, Go Nagai Dante, or Dante Dante. It's like New Game Plus. I don't know, man. New Game Plus and Dark Souls doesn't really make it easier. I'm not talking about that. So New Game Plus. Okay. Okay. Neil Dissett says Gate is bad. Knights Crossover says nah, Gate is good. All right, there we go. We have dialectics in action. Got
a goth 500-year-old lolly, though. I mean, he has a point.
Got your copy of Ito's Frankenstein? No, but I do have the hardcover copy of Tomie that I got for $20, and I could not read it because hardcover books that are like gigantic are absolutely unwieldy to read. When are we gonna get Goth Girl Slice of Life anime? I don't know.
Sounds Chunibo. She's not really goth, but
what videos did you remove from your channel? Can patrons get an archive in the form of a mega, perhaps? Well, they're all unlisted, Nil. So I can just give you the unlisted links. dudes, I'm on my university's library, and there's a guy right across me reading Read Zero on his laptop. Tell him Subaru dies. Ask him. Okay, what do you? Oh, okay. This is actually a pretty cool question. What do you want to see in Isekai?
True science
Hentai.
fiction. Hentai already exists. I'm sure.
Just make
Yeah, I would
No
kind
Game
of
No Life
just-
and like have it a side story hentai.
I would enjoy some more, I don't know, like challenging stories for the actual protagonist. But then again, that's probably not going to be the popular one, so I'll never see it.
I just want some more military isekais. Because those always just seem very interesting.
Oh, bias.
There's like some of like the Chinese ones are a little bit more like challenging in the context that like it's very like it's a little bit more game like.
Okay, give me
I thought you guys said they're more militaristic.
give me Subete ga F ni naru, except
Give me a YouTube channel.
It does everything
isekai.
right. What?
How about a YouTuber
fuck
isekai?
you, Joe.
Someone who's a YouTuber goes to another world.
Well, I'm sure we just want to a unique isekai, something really strange and with his own personality, like 12's Kingdom.
Oh, you mean like having an iPhone?
Yeah, I don't know about that because, like, isn't this really just a move away from sort of like strong fantasy built worlds to be more
Yeah,
focused on the protagonist?
the problem with fantasy right now is it's always the same fantasy with goblins, dwarves, elves, and stuff, and we don't have some innovation in the fantasy genre in isekai.
Oh, what if it's a half dark elf that does accounting?
Nope.
Academy and accounting.
It's still Dungeon and Dragons shit.
So like on the on the topic of, well, not really accounting, but there is an isekai where like it's a secretary who's been like summoned to another world for a demon lord, and she's so much more competent than the demon lord, so he just leaves everything to her. She's like the secretary that just keeps him in check. That's pretty.
Serial killer slains and then
We're beginning to
isekai.
see some kind of weird isekai recently, where some isekai where the main character is already going to this world, but return once and return again in another situation.
Here's the thing. I love that we're getting weirder and weirder anime because I love anime that's weird. And I pretty much watched anime because it was weird. I hated whatchamacallits, actual fucking live action stuff after a long time. And I was like, whoa, what is this new thing? And it's just so weird. I'm never getting bored of it.
There was an isekai. There was an isekai
The
manga
weirder the better.
that was canceled. There was an isekai manga that was canceled, which was kind of a shame. But it came out in, I think, like 2007. So it was actually one of the early, like it was like a pretty early progenitor to like what we see to be like a lot of isekai now, which is like a guy who's like, it's got like the hallmarks of isekai. It's like this regular Japanese student who's like not like super cool. He's kind of bullied, but he's like a nerdy in some way. And like what he happens to be nerdy about is like military history. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
he gets summoned to another. You know this one, right, Rito?
I think so.
He gets summoned to another world, and he gets like recruited to fight for the Demon King's army. And it turns out that the Demon King is actually an otaku who has just made like who has essentially just turned like the Demon King Empire into like Akihabara.
That sounds amazing.
And he's just like, yeah, I only know how to like turn things into like otaku shit, man. Like, I'm losing this war. And so he's just like, but thankfully I'm a nerd on military history, so we Gucci, and it just got canceled. And I'm just like, damn.
Oh wow. Oh, I'm dope.
I'm just like, I need to know where this is going.
That sounds perfect blend of weird.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Like you might say I have a bias for military things. It's very strange because I hate the military and I don't like anything I do. But I still love seeing the military stories.
Yeah. Well, you need to watch some sci-fi anime like Uchisenkan Yamato.
As long as it's not mech.
Oh,
Not mech?
Yeah. As long as it's not mecha.
Yamato is not mech.
yeah. I
It's
mean,
Star
it's a
Blazer.
ship.
Well, I mean, if we can go by Econ's definition, if it doesn't
No.
have the hero's journey,
Sorry, I
it's
don't know
not
what
a
it
mecha.
is, but no.
If it doesn't have the hero's journey, it's not a mecha anime.
Kill me.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. So the one is called Eikun 17 no Senso. And yeah, it was last. It was put on hiatus and then it was canceled, and it was last translated like 8 years ago. Yeah, came out in 2008.
Oh fuck! I'm finally done with reviews.
It's just, man.
Cool.
Yeah, there's a few other stories as well with like Gun Ota finding their skills becoming useful, but yeah, I think that there isn't many isekai of it.
Yeah.
In some ways, I feel like it's not completely suited because the isekai kind of fills an immediate need. So when it becomes longer, it's kind of like, well, it gets stale if it doesn't change.
Or it gets absolutely insane.
That's also true.
Well, I think that's like one of the. So like I think I've mentioned this before, but like I think that's like because like a lot of isekai that we know now are like a lot of them are like because of like a platform like Shousetsuga ni Naru, like a lot of them, these authors, this is like their first major work. So I don't think that a lot of them start this with like a clear plan. They kind of just write what they want to write, and then as it expands, as they build a following, they try to figure out the world as they go along, and sometimes it makes sense and sometimes it doesn't make sense.
Well, it makes sense that the average bus size is an F.
Oh, of course, yes, of course. Yeah. There's no, of course, yes. which is like, and I've mentioned this before, which is that like, I'm interested in knowing like the general like age and background of a lot of these authors, because I wonder if like a lot of them have been informed by like as Damien has mentioned, like the nekketsu kind of like stories, and they're just like, I don't like these kind of stories anymore. I'm just gonna write what I want to write, and they happen to be like these buff. Well, not buff. None of them are buff.
I mean, aren't they?
But like powerful protagonists that are already powerful, and like they just do what the author wants them to do.
Man, I don't give a shit. I read all of them.
Yeah, well, I think it's also like a kind of a self-reinforcing culture as well.
Yes, absolutely. I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Oh, okay. Sounds so much better than the actual Gate. Well, we need like 4 more seasons of Gate to get to the best parts of Gate. That's the problem. We need more Gate.
Yeah, but Gate is better in
Hang on,
manga.
that's a problem?
No, I said that's the problem. I said that's the problem. We don't have enough gate. We need more gate.
Yeah.
need
I agree. We need more gates. They should be about 10 feet higher and maybe just all around the borders.
You know, it's a shame. Hitami bangs everybody in that story except for the dark elf lady.
Oof.
Well, that's because it's a stereotype. Dark elves can never have
Well,
anything consensual.
Look, her father was right there.
Name me one hentai that had dark elves in it being consensual.
I can't name you one, but I could probably have someone make you one.
It's a stereotype. It just doesn't exist.
That is
Consensual.
that is
Consensual for you or for her?
that is such a a reality warping proposition from JD there. He was just like, it doesn't matter whether this question has a right or wrong premise. I simply will into reality something that
I saw that. I was just laughing.
I will have someone draw one, and then you'll be wrong.
Well, here's the thing. It has to be a hentai. So you'll need someone to animate it and then release it and voice it and everything.
Yeah, it'll just be sliding layers, and it'll be like fucking like characters like cut out on paper on like popsicle sticks. It'll be like mashing them together, and it'll still have better animation than just.
You know, here's the thing, and if it is made, we'll try to get every YouTuber to review it and say it's the only consensual dark elf hentai there is. And so therefore it's the best one of it.
What are you gonna say, Rita?
I forgot.
Tomie's goddamn spine on that print was a real turnoff from flipping it. It bent so bad. Yeah, it was a pain in the ass to try and read it. So I just read scans of it.
Is Serial Experiments Lane in Isekai? No.
Oh, hey. Oh, dude. We got something from Somalia. How's it going? My dude, Muhyiddin F. Ninaru.
Fuck off, Joe.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. That one that recently came out. Okay, fine. You got me on that one. There is one, but it's a little iffy to say that's consensual because they kind of have to.
Fallout is an isekai. Fight me. It's not an isekai. Chandler.
He's part of my podcast. I sent everyone a link to the stream.
Oh, okay. It's not an isekai. I'll fight you. I'll fight you in BB Tag. That's the only place I'll fight people when I have disagreements with them. I know I'll win every single time.
Is that your version of settling it?
Isekai. I literally live in Fallout.
Has to be first to 20 so I can download people first. First
Oh,
time.
Is that your version of settling it in Smash?
I'll invite you to a dialectic in Age of Empires.
Whoa. I can never take that. I'll be all like, oh no. I will always be the Schopenhauer.
Oh Jesus, that's terrible.
I'll always be cast aside.
Yeah, and you'll always be complaining about other people.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, like Schopenhauer, man. Like he was all like, intelligent people are people who want silence. Other people can go away.
Oh wow.
Yeah, really.
Cool. Okay.
No, he was a character.
Oh yeah, he was quite the dude. In the video, you guys mentioned death game anime, like Mirai Nikki. What does that genre entail, and is it related to isekai, or was it mentioned just for the SAO context?
Only for the context. Because the first one of the Days game is Battle Royale,
Yep,
which is a novel. So, and it's pretty recent. It's like more recent than Isekai, in fact.
It's like, it's also called Sabaibuke or survival types. Sense Anime Stuff has a great video on that.
He does, yeah, he does.
I think he's got the only video in AnyTube on that topic.
He's got the only video.
We even have some of good survival game anime and manga recently.
Like Big Order.
The Ginger is not dead. Big Order is like a JoJo ripoff.
I love how fast,
Oh my god.
how fast and confidently you just cast my comment aside.
Oh my god. Are we enemies, Damien? Are you criticizing Big Order?
You're in Big Order territory now, boy.
You know, in Big Order, one of the characters has exactly the same power than Bucciarati in JoJo Part 5. So I think it's a JoJo ripoff. They're just exactly the same power. They have stand and they
Oh
have...
yeah? Well,
yeah,
the
and
hentai I
it's
just
really
drew
shitty.
has
I really don't like Big Order. Is really so bad it's good, you know. It's one of the better with Kakumeki Valvrave.
Handler, you say that, but we already told everyone on how Japan's an isekai.
Oh my god. Oh yeah. Visit Japan is like, I've been sent to another world.
So that means that in less than a year from now, I'm gonna be in an isekai. Nice.
I mean, an isekai where I can walk at night and not be feared of getting mugged.
I love it here.
Wow.
A whole new world. Wait, is Aladdin an isekai then?
We're gonna get flagged by Disney.
Oof.
All right. Greed Island arc of Hunter x Hunter is the best isekai. Nocto, are you another one of Hunter x Hunter's like dick riding association accounts trying to trick me into watching the show?
I'm absolutely sure.
Okay, here's the thing.
It's
Joe.
impossible to be an isekai because it's a real island.
Okay, here's the thing. I say no one should watch Hunter x Hunter because after watching Hunter x Hunter, you'll never see anime the same because everything will just pale in comparison from then on. It is. Here's the thing. No matter what you want, Hunter x Hunter is it. If you want a cooking anime, they have an arc about that. You want a sports anime? They have an arc about that. You want it to be dark? They have an arc about that. You want it to be slice of life? They have an arc about that.
I still literally the space opera version of Hunter x Hunter.
It doesn't matter what you want. Hunter x Hunter has it.
But what if I want? What if I want poorly expressed body anxieties in post-Fukushima politics in the form of
Hunter x Hunter create.
Okay.
Give me that.
I was about to say it has that, but then you added that last part.
That's right. I told you. Done. Exposed.
It has generalizations. It has all generalizations. It doesn't have.
Where's my part in Hunter x Hunter where it becomes a live-action tokusatsu show?
That's the live-action one. Haven't you seen live-action of Hunter x Hunter?
Announced by Legendary in 3 months.
I love the part in the live-action Hunter x Hunter where Gon just yells henshin and then fights some monster.
Hunter x Hunter have Marveler.
I hate the hero. Phobo says, I hate the hero's journey with all my heart.
Yeah, it's really... People misuse it all the time.
Boom.
Hero's Journey is the most abused thing ever.
You went so... Okay, Harvey says, you went so long and no mention of Tanya the Evil or Ryojo Senki.
Yes, we did. We mentioned it.
We mentioned
quite a few times.
Yeah, we mentioned it.
Because that is like my favorite military
I need to read
anime.
Manga. Honestly, I think reading the Gate light novels is better than the manga because the manga has some like... It doesn't look a lot like the anime, so it's a little jarring.
Someone asked, what is your favorite Leichi Matsumoto anime or manga?
Okay, you
Damien first.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Joe, you say the light novel is better than the anime, but here's the thing. Does the light novel have better voice actors?
Go, Damien.
What? Gate is better in manga?
What's your
No. What is your favorite?
Oh yeah,
Lechi
it's
Matsumoto?
Uchisenkai Yamato ni Chikyukyu.
Okay.
Cool. Mine is Otoko.
And maybe also Captain Airlock and Less Odyssey. But it's anime, all of them.
Right. Anyone else? I see how it is.
I've already
Hey.
said the cockpit, so it'd be
Chandler,
like that.
you may be joking about that, but Hunter x Hunter has that as well. Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong.
The very last thing he says.
Yo, I say.
Okay,
Again, that's not wrong.
I don't know if I should consider this like potential white elf dojin and negative the images. Okay, Metal Gear Survive is an isekai. Greetings and salutations, everyone. Hey, Mistress of Yaoi, how's it going? Okay, Chandler says.
Oh, yeah, right. We don't. We still don't have an isekai with Yaoi.
Going into a vault is the divide between pre-war and post-war. Therefore, it is an isekai. What?
Hang on. Is that a question by Luis?
Okay, where?
I thought I saw one. Luiz.
Lu. Where is the question? Can it be said that isekai is attributed to the fewer opportunities millennials have nowadays and the social norms of Japanese society?
Wow.
So there are two components to that question. The first one is the millennial part, and then the second one is the social norms.
Is that not what I wrote in my book?
Here's the thing.
I may not agree with that, but it's very general, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's one of those two born too late to explore the world, born too early to explore the universe, born just right to explore isekai.
So I'm saying, Louise, about that question is that like it seems to make sense intuitively, but the problem is that like it's kind of hard to measure whether like that's a demonstrable factor, right?
It's something like I wouldn't deny it, but I wouldn't say that is it.
Like,
I mean, it could be a factor, but
yeah, like that's the trouble. It could be a factor.
Yeah, the lack of communication, the isolation.
Honestly, I think the technological conditions in which these stories are distributed are probably a bigger factor.
Like Naruto.
Yeah, you know, like the things, because like, so like, it seems to me, right, like the existence of platforms like Shulsatsu simply because it allows all of these amateur authors to write these stories in a way, but it's also kind of happening in sort of like a real time kind of thing where like they're always being influenced by each other. And so like very quickly creates this sort of like subculture.
Well, it's interesting, but did you know? So Atlas Lines is created in 2000, like maybe 20 years ago. So, did we need to assume all of the writers on Naruto read Sword Art Online before think their own novel, or they're in the same? They're all of them in the same mood and decide independently to write the same genre of story because they have the same situation.
Well, I'm not saying that there's like a lineage distinctly from Sword Art Online, saying that like because they've read Sword Art Online that now they're doing these stories. I'm more so saying that like what we see as like isekai now are there's a bigger like causal factor in terms of the platform rather than like the existence of Sword Art Online. Or I don't know what I'm trying to go with this. I don't know. Ignore what I said. I don't know.
I don't know. I think humans just have a natural want to explore shit, and that's why isekai is great.
I don't really know about like the isekai as a result of naturally exploring shit because like a lot of times they don't really explore it that well.
Yeah, and
I mean,
when something comes up in an isekai, like some kind of hobby or whatever, like there's definitely a finite limit to how in depth it'll go.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, some will have smartphones, and
What was it? A Nokia?
Princess of Nokia.
I'd be down to see a Nokia. Trapped in another world with my Nokia.
I mean, he's easy to see. He's trapped in another world. What's with that voice?
It's Florida.
I'm sure it's a weird.
All right.
I mean, Florida's the real other world.
Is Raiden an isekai protect? Oh, God damn it.
Raiden from Mortal Kombat?
Isekai reflects the state of Japanese society right now. I'm a little uneasy to always say like something reflects Japanese society like it's one monolithic thing.
Yeah,
I think a lot of
that's
isekais
definitely
do tie
not
into
the
a
case.
Otaku identity.
It's a subgenre.
Yes. And it's also very important to consider that like not all isekai reflect the state of Japanese society. Like for example, there are like some isekai like the Black Healer, for instance, doesn't really reflect Japanese society, really. It's kind of like it feels kind of like a stock like shoujo like harem kind of manga. It just happens to happen in another world. So it's
And
hard.
like even
Yeah, and the
with a lot
isekai
of
version of this one is really weird.
yeah, with a lot of isekai, you could even say that it presents things that are against Japanese society, but may, be in line with the desires of the audience it's serving to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so I think that's why like I'm always very uneasy about like these like very broad like definitive claims about like what isekai is and what it's supposed to represent, because like I don't know, there's just so many different meanings about it.
Yeah, I mean, I could usually pull the Otaku identity for a lot of them. There's also ReZero, which you can see as never giving up. There's always whatchamacallit. You could say No Game, No Life is sort of a critique on society to where whatchamacallit. You just look down upon to do too well, but also look down upon to doing too bad. Kinda. Like you can pull so many meanings out of just one thing. I don't think it has just one inherent meaning.
Well, No Game, No Life is like a really interesting case.
I think like, No Game, No Life has like 20 different meanings because I've like every time I watch it, I get a different meaning from it, and I'm like, what? How?
I think No Game, No Life is like very interesting in the context that like it's kind of actually fairly similar to like Sword Art Online in the context that like it's this in between sort of state between like the survival game, like survival types, and then what we're going to see later on with Isekai. And the reason why is because like they're literally sent to another world where they're playing games, and that's like the whole idea of the survival like type stories, which is that like you play this game and your life is at stake or your well-being is at stake, because the whole idea is that like young people have to figure out a way to like change the rules of the world through the game. And so like that's what No Game No Life is, you know. It's literally trying to figure out ways to sort of like change the rules of the world, because humanity, called humanity, in that other world, they're messed up by these games. Like they have to figure out a way to become like the best again, or good. I don't know if they were ever the best.
Well, I mean, in No Game No Life, it was heavily implied the only reason they didn't do the best in society was because of it's looked down upon to be like some of the best. Which they were talking about that at the beginning, is they hated when they were at the top because people were shunning him for being too high up.
Oh no, I'm talking about like the other ones. The people in the other world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, anyway, let's just move on to the next one. Okay. Does Isekai have imperialist undertones? A lot of them do.
Yes.
A lot of them do. And it doesn't even have to be like Gate, where it's just like, we're the GSTF. Everybody loves us. Wink. There are a lot of Isekai that have like so Damien and I are gonna talk about this later on in the next video. But like Isekai have very sort of like, there's this mix between material and immaterial like imperialism, where like, so you have things like Gate, right? So you got things like Gate where people literally in that show literally say, does Japan want to make an enemy of the rest of the world for this other world? And I'm just like, wait a minute. That sounds exactly like the Greater East Asia Co-Prosperity Sphere leading up to the scene. So like you have like that. But then you also have like, it comes up a lot in like cooking isekai, right? Where it's just like, wow, Mr. Japanese man, how are you so good at like salting fish? Like, you are so skilled. Japanese
How
food.
you make rice taste good?
Yeah, how do you
better than I ever experienced. You put sauce on it.
America, how do you have so much freedom?
Well, it's just like, okay, so like for example, right? Isekai Ryorido, where like the main character is like a teenage boy, and he's like in the company of this hot elf lady. My God. But he's in the company of this hot elf lady, and she's like, we only eat food for sustenance. No foodie culture here. Like, oh, but if you just like but if you just put berries, if you just put like salt and pepper on these fish, it will taste better. It's like, wow, it tastes so good. Japanese people do cook very well. Sorry, what? It does. It's just like, it just happens to be a Japanese man just found the secret to like cuisine in general.
This is what we call onigiri.
There are literally isekai where it's just like, and then now we have made onigiri, and they're just like, wow, this is so delicious and wonderful, so advanced. It's like, what? Are you serious?
You put fish in the rice? Wow.
There is literally an isekai, all right? There's an isekai where a pair of sisters, they've gone to this other world. It's this tenni isekai where they're in this house, they're in their house, right? And then the house has been transported to the other world, and then there's like this kingdom around them. And then the sister has to be a high priest. She keeps coming back to her sister's house because she wants to eat her sister's food. And her sister makes like fucking grilled fish and onigiri. And she's like, oh, yes, One-chan, you make the best food. Because it's so homey.
Oh, yeah. Isekai Motenashi Gohan.
Yes. He's like, your food is so homey. And it's just like fucking like grilled fish and rice. And like the prince and the king of the kingdom to come over. It's like, wow, this food is so good. It's so good. I'm just like,
okay,
don't you manage the kingdom? Are you serious right now?
Well, remember this moment when in Isekai Desuga Momono Saibai Shitemasu with a monster plant, and he's in his food contest, and the the jury asks the main character, "What is it called?" It's soy sauce.
Yes, yes.
Joe, just hearing this, like he's saying, it's like typical shit. Just reminds me of how Americans are portrayed in every anime, and it's just so freaking hilarious, though.
Well, it's just like, yeah, it's.
You call this shoyu?
What is?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just anime. You guys eat fucking anything.
There's a joke. There's a pretty funny joke about like Chinese people, and it says like the only things with legs that Chinese people won't eat are tables.
Fuck. So chairs are fair game.
Hell yeah, my dude. Deep fried chairs. But yeah, man, dude, and like that's the thing that bothered me about like Isekai Nobu, right? Where they're just like, "Wow, how is the beer here so good? It must be some sort of secret lager." And I'm okay. So aside from the voice, I felt it was appropriate to exemplify the people in this other world because I think that they are absolute morons.
Yes, Imperial Guards too.
Yeah. They're just like, "Oh, they got lager," and I'm just like, "Wait a minute, lager has been around since like the 16th century. Are you kidding me?" It took advanced Japanese technology to bring lager over.
Even without imperialism, when you read the Isekai Shokudo, which is an izakaya with European food, but still, oh my god, it's French fries or.
There's literally one where he's just like, "Yeah, I need some more beef stew," and it's like, wait a minute. Beef stew has been around since forever. Are you serious?
The dragon is so happy to have his beef stew.
You definitely have imperialist undertones.
Yeah,
it's like being in an American or show and be like, just presenting a burger and like, this is the most brilliant thing I've ever eaten.
Well, to be fair, you do sometimes get that with like tourist shows. Yeah, the thing that gets me as well though is just like all the language used to like describe the eating experiences are like always the same. It's like they're all the same character.
Yes, they're all the same character, and it's always just like, "Wow, this is so like fluffy," or like, "Oh my god, this reminds me of my childhood, like me growing up in my childhood when like all my mom would do is like harvest berries or some shit, and then she'd like stomp them with her dirty ass foot."
What if they just get paid from the government to do that? Just talk about how great their government is inside fictional stories.
I mean, they've got the Tokyo Olympics to look forward to. And so, like, here's the thing: it's not even food. It's not even just food, right? It's also like other things, like Isekai Hote, where like the This story is literally a failed Japanese law student is brought over by God, who's just like, "I want you to implement amazing Japanese laws into this other world." And then it's just like, wait a minute, this guy's a failed law student. You can't make a judge or someone.
Yeah, why couldn't he get a successful lawyer?
and why Japanese law is better than any other laws?
Yeah,
Japanese still has this penalty.
Like Japanese law, fucking country, still with the death penalty, who will hang people, like telling them a week before their death sentencing. Like what the fuck? Like, what? Are you serious?
And yeah, like a 99% conviction rate. And
a crazy occupancy.
They don't have rape as consent, but only like sexual violence. Kind of
Dude,
what is this?
A dead man can't complain. That's why I give him a week.
Yeah, and it was just like, "Oh yeah, I want you to implement these laws because they're so much better." I'm just like. Oh.
But still, it's an interesting isekai attorney.
Unsurprising.
I mean,
He
here's
takes
the
the
thing.
slave.
But I thought you were going to mention how, like, you know, they gave them like a towel, and they were like, "Holy fucking towel!"
I mean, instead of having the death penalty, like that, we should have the death penalty for inmates to put into like a gladiator arena and have them fight each other.
Okay.
You know?
Just on response to that.
You know,
What's the incentive?
$10,000.
for maybe
They're gonna die.
I know you're
regardless,
Canadian,
though.
but look, that's still a low amount of money.
10,000 US dollars.
yeah, for every
I mean,
kill,
if they have the death penalty, they're gonna die regardless. What's $10,000 gonna do for them?
I don't know.
here's the thing: it's
Think it's smart.
for every kill they get, it goes to $10,000 to Joe's patron.
Yes, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with people on death row trying to like get more. That seems like a fair and morally correct. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. In Gunota, right? In Gunota, there is literally like the beginning of Gunota. He doesn't start off developing guns. He starts off developing fucking board games. And they're just like, Reversi? Wow, Reversi is so amazing. How clever of you there to have invented this game. He's like, yes, I have invented Reversi. That's me. It's the same thing in Isekai smartphone where it's just like, what is this game that you call shogi? And it's just like, are you serious? Like, do you not have board games in your world?
I know what shogi is, but what's chess?
What is chess? This game for like
Yeah,
hundreds of
what is this tic-tac-toe you speak of?
God, there has to be an isekai out there that is just like Jankenpon. Wow. I've never thought of this.
It's called Hunter x Hunter, actually.
Well,
Hunter x Hunter has that.
no, I will now write Junkenpon in another world.
Jankenpon in another world.
I don't know. That's such a good title.
You
though,
laugh
honestly.
now, but if you really think about it, Hunter x Hunter has that already.
I brought peace to this world just by using Jankenpon.
Joe, this is why you should never watch Hunter x Hunter. It has everything.
Okay, we should probably get that. Okay,
I'm the Demon King because of Junkin Po.
You're giving me too many ideas for this light novel.
oh my god.
It's Isekai.
What do you think of Kumo desu ka Nanika? That is a great series. It is like this perfect blend between like, yes, I'm very aware of Isekai and it's like a lot of its myriad dimensions, but at the same time, I also want to tell a story that's like not meanderingly annoying. You know? It's like Death March, but like entertaining. It's really good. It's really good. It's really
Hang on. Does the main character even have any slave girls?
Well, if any are slave girls,
spoilers.
it'd probably be
at this point, I don't think so. But I haven't caught up with like where the light novels are.
You're telling me it's better than the one with the slave girls?
Well, you can judge by yourself next year because they decide to adapt it in an anime.
I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped, my dude. My body is.
I'm so scared. They use awful CGI in the teaser.
Yeah. I was actually gonna bring that up earlier. Like, it does not look good.
Okay, let's see here. Where are we? Okay. Hunter by Hunter x Hunter.
Hunter cross Hunter.
Hunter cross Hunter.
That's the true. It's a cross. It's not a X.
It's Hunter x Hunter.
The name is Hunter cross Hunter.
Hunter is gay porn? What?
Yes, it actually
That's
is
not
as
wrong.
well. It's not wrong.
Okay. Okay, so we got Kumo Desuka Nanika. Isekai anime is going to be every anime in a few years. Yes.
I mean,
Well,
I don't
we
think we have
have
enough isekai.
already have maybe 150 isekai manga, so I'm pretty sure in maybe 5-10 years we had 5 or 6 isekai by season if it's continued like this.
Nice. Okay.
Yes, Monster Hunter is isekai.
Wow, you already beat me to it. Okay, Louis says, do you think the way authors start their isekai novels is how they would like to experience it themselves if they were the protagonist?
No, because if everyone wanted to experience it the way they did want to, they would automatically gain like powers and just have all the women and everything the moment they step in there. I don't think it's exactly how they would want it.
Yeah, that's so like. Well, I mean, like a lot of these, like Tensei, for instance, often start with.
We talk about a self-projection of the author.
I would say it's a safe bet that there is some amount of it, but I don't think it's exactly how they would do it because you still need to write a story.
Because a lot of isekai is about slavery and girls, so I opt not how they would like to experience this kind of world.
Why not?
Amazing point. Amazing point, Joe. Amazing point.
I think they enjoy the content, but
I mean, it's not like it's happening to humans, so where's the morality in it?
Well, it's humans.
How do you know? It's a completely different world, so it's a different species. It's not humans.
Well, not. It's not always different species. Like in Dead Smarter, we have humans.
Yep. I think. I don't think. So, like the trouble with that, right? The trouble is like trying to figure out like what the authors are intending or like whether they want to is like isekai are like so. They're so like they're so referential to other isekai. So like it's a little hard sometimes to know like when something's making a joke because sometimes jokes fucking suck, and I'm just like.
And sometimes they're great, like no game, no life doing JoJo poses.
Like for example, right? For example, there's an isekai where it's just like there's an isekai where the main character is like a dude, but he gets reincarnated, but he's just like, yeah, I want to become like a lolly vampire that will like never die, and that's exactly what happens. And I'm just like,
Digi?
All right, what part is the joke and what part is like the real life?
I mean, Digi has expressed he wanted to be a lolly magical girl forever.
I think that the idea that because of the fact that we're like there's so many isekai now, it might be a thing of maybe the author himself might not be like he might be interested in the fiction, and that's why he goes after something like that. You know, like a reference.
Well, yeah,
like what you were going after, Joe.
Like that's also something that's really important to consider. Like for example, like if I read a lot of isekai. Or like if I read some stuff that will like lead to isekai, and then I'm just like, oh shit, I want to write something like this too. And then I write it. Does that mean that I want to experience that myself, or do I just like the form or whatever it is?
Yeah, that's
you
exactly
write it because you like your brother.
Oh shit! Yo, my sister, my writer, legend.
These are all great questions. Let's see here. Question for everyone to hang out. How easy or hard do you think it would be to blend humor into an analytical video?
Depends on the analytical video because it all depends on the tone. There are certain times like it just doesn't fit. But I know when Alexander tries to do his freaking jokes, for one, Alexander doesn't know how to tell jokes.
Yeah,
his jokes
I don't agree.
Here's the thing: his jokes are so bad,
it
loops around to being
how funny you are.
It loops around to being funny again and completely destroys the mood of the analytical video. But if you're not doing like a completely serious tone, It's actually really good. I'm not really. Yeah, I mean, if you're not doing a serious tone, it should be easier to do than just trying to be serious and then tell a joke and have it not really break the flow. Because
yes, those are words.
Yeah, because when I watch Alexander's videos, I'm like, they're completely serious the whole time, and then a joke will just come out of nowhere, and the joke will be so bad that it's funny. I'll have to pause the video just because I didn't expect it, and it kind of ruins the flow a bit. But if the analytical video isn't serious, like it is serious, but the tone isn't serious, and they're making jokes all the time and blah blah blah, like it can be done. It would just make it too. It's not harder to make a joke that doesn't break the flow like that because the whole tone of it is like that.
I think the basis is that writing comedy is actually hard if you're not including comedy. So I would say yes.
Yes to what?
Writing comedy in analytical videos is hard because writing comedy in videos, period, is hard.
Yeah, I think it just depends on how good you are at doing that.
I was going to ask because he said how easy or hard do you think it is, and you said yes. That's why I needed to ask.
Yeah, it definitely depends on the individual though as well.
I just think it mostly depends on two things: the individual, how they can execute the joke, and the tone of the video. Those are probably the three key factors in it.
I mean, Joe's
I also
got
think
lots
we
of
should
jokes in his videos that I've appreciated.
I mean,
like the one about the perfect outsider doing everything wrong.
I mean, does Joe make comedic jokes?
Oh yeah,
I thought he just says stuff that happened to be funny.
Yeah, you want to hear a joke right now?
Yeah.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Joe, and I make content that I would like to see.
But see, it just happens to be funny.
I also think you got to think about the audience you're going after, because different people have different tastes in comedy. So if you're targeting an audience with your analysis, you should probably try to make your comedy geared towards that audience.
So you say, if I'm going to go to an extremely far leftist convention, I would not make rape jokes.
No, he's probably saying don't do it like Canepa.
Exactly. Like, an important thing here is like, and this is just general for writing comedy in my eyes, at least. Knowing your audience and knowing like what makes them laugh is really important to getting that reaction out of somebody. So if you're writing something like serious, if you do pull out a joke that you know that some people that are going to be watching your video are going to like, then I feel like you can probably incorporate that pretty easily, as long as it's not next to anything that is like a major point you want to make.
They're saying I stopped after the dinosaur sex. Okay, I found that shit on Canepa's channel to be funny as hell. That dinosaur sex scene. I could not stop laughing at that. That he just kept bringing it up from out of nowhere, and it's just so ridiculously animated. And it's just such a weird ass fact that I think he couldn't it would be worse for him not to include it. Now he did it more than twice. I'm pretty sure he used it. I think it was 4 times ish, or maybe I just watched the 2 episodes twice or 2 videos twice. I could have stopped laughing at that. Whatchamacalls, Joe, you can get comedy inside your videos. Just invite KYDB to help you.
KYD's a master.
Oh man.
Oh, and this is another thing. Since you brought up how Canopy used to joke 4 times, I think you shouldn't probably reuse jokes too much
Rules of
because they
3.
can get stale.
But it was not in like the same videos though.
I mean, regardless, it can get it. A joke can get tired.
Yeah.
If you keep saying it, like it's funny like once or twice, but after that, I think you're kind of overstaying it.
It's called the Rules of 3.
Exactly.
Just responding to like, sorry about that. I was just responding to like somebody who left a comment on our anime Isekai board thing.
Oh, okay. I think we were talking about Giga's jokes.
Okay.
Tournament on. Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah, see, that's super unfunny. Like that's completely like yeah, Giguk is like how you don't do it.
Okay, now here's the thing. Everyone keeps blaming Giguk for it. Giguk, when he used it, it was funny. The first time.
No, it wasn't.
Right as the case was like, no, it wasn't.
I was gonna say when Giguk used it the first time, it was a bit funny. And then it was killed by everyone else using it.
I would say it was unfunny to begin with, and then people have generally low standards to reference things, so they just kept referencing it because it's just like he shouted it.
Agree with that.
What the fuck?
I think it's like an anti-joke. Like he purposely did it as an anti-joke. It's supposed to be so bad. And
man, you're giving him a lot of credit, man. What the fuck? You think Giguk capable of that?
I was pretty sure Giga did it as an anti-joke. It's supposed to be so stupid that it's supposed to loop around.
The closest he's ever gotten to doing that is his Goblin Slayer video, where he literally beats that into your head for like over half of the video. Giguk's like capable of that. I don't know. That just seems like you're just giving him way too much credit.
I don't know. I've watched Giguk ever since like when I first started watching Giguk was while he was doing that top 20 list. So I've been following his channel for a really long time. I kind of feel like that's what he was doing there.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay, the rule passes says I found your channel on 8chan while you were shilling. I wasn't shilling on 8chan. Damn, life's like that sometimes.
What the hell, man?
I don't go on 8chan.
What the hell? Why are you chilling on 8chan, dude?
I don't go on 8chan.
You think
Dude,
you
cause
know
him select on 8chan.
Yeah, I mean, here's the
What is
thing.
8chan?
Infinity Chan has so much CP. Of course, Joe's goes it.
You think
Wait,
you know
what?
it, dude? Then he's off shilling on 8chan.
Oh God.
He changes another shitty.
He actually has never played Blaze Blue in his life. He hires somebody to play Blaze Blue, and then he just goes on HN and chills. No, I got this all this time.
Yeah,
all this
Joe,
time.
when was the last time you shilled?
Now, here's the thing, Joe. Joe stays on Infinity Chan just because of, that's where all the smartest people in the universe are. That's why Joe's there.
Hang out on dig.com, my dude. Come on.
Never mind.
You've been watching Giga since before the war. Which war? You got to be specific on which war there is. There's been many.
Let's see here.
The war that Giguk wages against his tight pants?
May that war never end.
It does have tight pants.
Exactly. Oh man, did you see that debate between him and someone?
Ditchy.
Ditchy. Yeah, he was
Yeah, I saw
adjusting his pants every 10 seconds.
Oh, that's... He gets so much punani that he just has crabs.
Leather pants, are they?
Not too tight.
No, it's because whatchamacallit, Giga just gets around. He's fucked so many women. Too bad his women also have dicks.
What?
Why is that too bad? Why is that too bad? Tell me, unknown otaku.
Because you have to finish them up later.
What?
What the fuck?
Is this a transphobia joke?
I don't.
It's not a transphobia joke. Hermaphrodites are not trans.
Can we leave this?
All right, let's move it on. Is there a risk of anime becoming too mainstream that might lead to anime of becoming vanilla?
I've always wondered this. Like, how long would it take for lolly to become vanilla? Like the most fucked up shit you could think of in hentai, just to become commonplace.
Okay.
This topic already became awkward.
All right.
Now for something different.
No, because I was wondering, because Shadman, he says he specifically likes drawing stuff that are taboo. And then I asked him on stream, like, what if all the art you do no longer becomes taboo? He read it and then just didn't answer it. Because I guess he didn't know, but
He would start drawing scenery. That's what he would do. But yeah.
So Narutard and Proud says, "What are your thoughts on ReZero? Also season 2."
Well, I enjoyed it when he died.
That was pretty good. Yeah, I like that part.
Like every time.
It was
I like the
actually
part
really
where
enjoyable every time.
he lost his head, like literally. Lost. That was a good part.
I
love
like the one
the
where
fucking
he
theme.
was vomiting.
Yeah, I like the one where he starts sounding like he's literally just dying and just not vomiting. He just starts crying and he just starts like he sounds so like distressed, man, like a little puppy.
Yeah, and wasn't he like eaten by dogs or something?
I mean, Emergence.
Yes, he was eaten by
he
puppy,
was,
a very cute puppy.
Yeah,
It was really good.
That was the best female in that series.
I agree wholeheartedly. Best girl.
Love the Call of the Witch theme.
I mean, hentai is pretty mainstream.
If there's going to be a second season, we're probably going to get news on it probably at the end of the year when like the OVA like actually screens. We'll probably get news around then if there's a second season.
I mean, here's the thing.
A 1 hour OVA screening in cinemas, bro.
Oh shit!
Bow's that. Like, this is how you know hentai is mainstream. Day 3 of Bowsette, there was like a couple of million searches on Pornhub for it. Like, people have searched it up, even though there wasn't any at the time. And now there's like hundreds and thousands of it.
That's really interesting.
I'm just saying, like, and then there's also times when you look at the Pornhub statistics. There's a lot of countries that actually search up hentai more than they search up normal porn.
I'll say this: I don't think people looking up something that was briefly popular all over the internet is indicative of hentai being mainstream.
No, but the second thing I said is...
Oh,
you know what? You're right.
Well, no, I'd agree on this, actually. I think hentai is pretty mainstream, but it's also removed from the context of animation or anime more generally, even. It's just porn that people watch.
Yeah.
Is it not
That
Samuel
kinda
L.
makes me-
Jackson when is that not what's his name? Samuel L. Jackson who say he like anime hentai too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the guy is like, or he's for real because he starred in the live action. I think it was Kite, live action Kite.
Yeah, Kite.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Dude, the dude actually does like hentai. Like he's not fronting about it.
I know.
That's too hype.
That reminds me of... it just makes me think, if hentai is popular but not anime itself, that makes you think that there's people that don't like anime but like hentai.
Yeah, no, I've talked to...
Those people exist.
I've seen this many times, honestly.
Would that just be
Yeah, I've
called
seen
the
that too.
H-weeb?
Well, I mean, like those people exist, but anime is very ingrained in pop culture as well because like things like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh are considered anime. Like, These things are really popular.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
I think
yeah,
that's
like I mean, like there are
technically-
people who will search up hentai, watch them, but not go out of their way to watch anime. Kind
You
of-
know,
yeah.
Suka is actually correct. Boozette is better than Bowsette.
That's very interesting.
That is very interesting, Rito. That is.
All right, I think it is a good time for we got let's say about like 5 more minutes for anybody to have any other questions or whatever, etc.
Okay, I got a question. What's your views on MGTOW?
What?
What?
What the fuck is that?
Men going their own way?
What does that mean?
You know it. I know you fucking know it.
No, I don't know what MGTOW is. Explain to me.
Activists.
No.
It looks like some embarrassing.
MRAs are very different from MGTOW, but whatever.
Explain that.
Wait, you're not going to explain to me what MGTOW is, but you're just going to tell me that they're different from MRAs?
Hashtag red pill.
Oh, fuck me. This is
Why does
What the
Elon
fuck
Musk
are
like
these
anime?
terms? Are you speaking another language?
I just like asking pauses like random political questions.
why.
It's because his reaction is always funny.
Were you the one who asked me on RetroSpring if I was a libtard?
No.
Okay.
What?
Ask me that. He was like, "Are you a libtard?" And I was like, "What the hell is a
I
libtard?"
think that's the same troll that's been going asking like me, you, and fucking poop questions on RetroSpring.
I was just like, "What the fuck is a
Rito
libtard?" I have no idea what that is.
I know what it is. It's just I did not ask that. I thought you would at least know what that is. God.
What's MGTOW? I don't know what MGTOW is. All right, okay. Is it called like a MGTOW? Like M?
I typed it in chat.
TOW. Okay.
MG.
Men going their own way is a statement of okay. The website red pills. Oh, this is already I am very suspect.
It's not good.
It's a statement of self-ownership. Okay, where the modern man preserves. All right, I should probably just like share this or something. What?
Oh yeah.
All right, let me see here. Let me share the screen share.
Now the reason I don't want to explain it is because to fully explain it, it would take like almost an hour, and you have 5 minutes.
Oh no! Now people will know that I use libgen.
So you are a libtard.
Joe exposed.
Let's see here. Is a statement of self-ownership where the modern man preserves and protects his own sovereignty above all else. Okay. Not entirely sure
What
what
does
that means.
mean? What, like sovereign citizen bullshit?
Is it,
No, it's
I
pretty
guess?
much
Okay.
like not marrying,
This is
not
beautiful.
cohabitating, and stuff like
This is
that.
fucking
I too can
beautiful.
string words
It is
together.
manifestation of one word. No. Okay. Ejecting silly preconceptions and cultural definitions of what a man is. Okay, so what is this in relation to? It hasn't told me anything in 3 sentences.
I know. I read this definition. I'm like, this is the most vague definition you will ever see. But
Looking to no one else for social cues. Okay, so it's like, is
Pretty
this
much-
subjectivism?
No, this is literally
not subjectivism,
Buddha.
it's not.
What the hell?
Refusing to bow, serve, and kneel for the opportunity to be treated like a
It's
disposable
pretty much
utility.
giving the middle finger to what you're supposed to be like,
Okay.
and choosing your own way rather than falling into social norms.
Oh, I see. You do that quite well.
Okay, but here's the problem. Here's the fundamental problem, right? So this whole thing here is like, yeah, you know, be your own man, no, ejecting silly preconceptions and cultural definitions, you know, no one else for social cues, refusing to bow. In other words, common sense. What? You have to reject all of these components, but common sense.
What is things make hilarious is for men. It's like a shampoo.
Oh, okay.
I have a question whenever you guys are ready for it.
Dude, I got 32,000 members, man. That's more than I have subs.
Well, I mean, the main
Get me on the ground, Squirrels.
they're mainly on YouTube, and they have
Okay.
See? It's a shampoo.
specifically
Okay,
are-
let's go to
I got a question,
who
guys.
these are.
I got a question. So, is the I'm not too sure what the other parts are going to necessarily talk about. I don't know if you guys brought that. I wasn't here, probably, but I was going to ask if you guys are going to talk about how other like races and species are viewed in isekai and how they're treated, because I feel like they're kind of similar in a lot of them. So, I'm just interested, like, how are you guys? If you guys are going to talk about that.
I'm just going to say, MGTOW.com is not really a good representation of what MGTOW is. I'm just going to say that before we end.
Okay, what is the good representation of MGTOW? Google literally said MGTOW.com is the first one.
If you want to bring this fucking shitty topic up, then bring up some definitions.
Is Wikipedia a good definition of MGTOW?
You said 5 minutes. Let's go to a different topic.
What? Okay, now I need to know what.
I just wanted to see what your reaction was. I didn't mean for it to get into an actual whole thing.
All right, let's go to MGTOW, men going their own way on Reddit.
Oh,
Let's just go watch a turd flinging monkey.
All time.
You know,
Upvote if you think alimony should be illegal. What?
I don't think it should be illegal.
Like
Rather
MRA.
than destroyed.
It is
not a thing.
Oh, realistic
exactly what it
depictions of women in video games. User was suspended from Twitter for this. Oh, this is gonna be spicerific, my dude. Let's do this. All right, complaining about unrealistic depictions of women in video game feminist frequency radio. Wow, this is so fucking sexist. What the fuck? What the fuck? What is this? You'll never find a girl like me. Okay, 50 Shades of Gay. Oh, that's a pretty good pun. My ex said I'd never find a girl like her, but in 2018, finding a makeup artist with the septum ring, a daddy kink, and abandonment issues that lead to cheating is relatively easy. I'm so confused. What's going on?
Oh man,
Joe, look at the
watching Joe's reaction to all this.
Look at the rules on the side.
Okay, rules. We are men going our own way by forging our own identities and paths to self-defined success, cutting through collective ideas of what a man. Wait, that's literally what the website said. What's the website not a good? We will allow no bullshit. Okay, no feminist. What? No SJW LGBT proselytizing. Okay, so it's like cis normative. No white knighting.
Okay, I just read Wikipedia, and Shinji Ikari is MGTOW. Voilà.
What?
Yeah.
All right, let me see here. All right, okay.
Damien.
Now this is analysis.
Oh, who said you can't have jokes in analysis?
Where
We're
is
doing it on the fly.
Maybe was just applying the definition to
It
Shady.
is seeing herbivore men a subgenre of MGTOW. So
By the way, just quickly,
Yo, the article. Oh, the
Joe,
best article
are
in the
you
world.
and Damien gonna talk about the race thing?
I mean, I'm willing to talk about it if Damien wants to.
sorry,
Let's go.
I'm hitting what?
Let's go with that for now.
Scrolls was asking if you'd discuss the othering process when it comes to isekai.
Yeah, we might, because we might do that in the third one, because that's all about like other and devoration and whatnot.
I really like this part.
Okay.
Why is League of Legends as the
Okay.
video?
This is an amazing article. Okay, here's what. Okay, real talk. Okay.
Yes.
If anybody wants to start an anime analysis channel or article, you have to ask yourself, is my content more worthwhile than this WikiHow article on how to cosplay Shinji Ikari? And you might be all like, oh, Joe's just memeing. He's just memeing. He's joking. Oh, good joke, Joe. No, okay. This article is fucking baller, my dude. All right. Let me show you why. Okay. Not only is it telling you how to be like Shinji for some weird reason, but it also goes into Shinji's supposed psychosis and psychology to further explain how to better dress like Shinji. So, for example, Shinji uses a fictional technology called an SDAT player that looks similar to a portable cassette player. Why do you know this? Secondly, although Shinji is a an accomplished cellist, his bashful cello playing has been a trait featured prominently since the original series. Shinji is very introverted and secures his time with a small group of people. And where is the best part here? Shinji wants to be loved by everyone, especially his previously estranged father. Shinji a lot for what other this is.
Do as you're told.
To cosplay Shinji, you need to learn to play the cello.
This is assault because of Shinji's need for outside validation. He often does what authority figures demand. He is extremely passive. This is like a reasonable character analysis of Shinji in the form of a WikiHow article telling people how to cosplay as Shinji.
With weird ass drawing.
And it gets even better. When we get to the community questions, we know the author is 100% like 100% prepared for all questions. For example, if I do not live in a city with subways or trains, should I just ride the bus? You can if there are no subways or trains. So we understand that not only do we understand the psychology of Shinji, but we also understand the fundamental architecture and urban psychology of the space in which he operates, thanks to this wiki author.
You gotta cosplay the whole area
Shinji
around him.
Rode a bus in episode 6 and 13.
Hell yeah.
Like, here's the thing. If you're cosplaying the area around him, what's to say you need to stop there and not just recreate the whole world?
Do I have to find a hot white-haired alien boyfriend to be Shinji? And if so, where do I find one? Look, you are not going to be Shinji, and I imagine finding an alien boyfriend with hair of any color may be difficult, so I would settle for acting like Shinji, as the article suggests, if that's your thing. You could substitute the robot with a bicycle or bobby cart, or you could build a robot out of cardboard.
Joe, read the bottom question.
Okay.
Not the one above that.
Should I start screaming incessantly? No. Do you have to run away from your problems? No. You shouldn't be screwing your life up in order to act like some fictional character.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. You're already acting like a fictional character, so that's quite
I really like the one where it's like you probably shouldn't give yourself crippling depression. That was really good, actually.
Yeah. Not only, but Shinji is very different in the official manga and even other spin-off manga such as Neon Genesis Evangelion Angelic Days. Because of these differences, you can it even considers the differences between the manga. This article has sources.
Yes, it has so many sources.
See, it's got more sources than the entirety of AniTube.
Yeah. But is it soy sauce?
It all comes back full circle. So, this is my advice to anybody who's like, hey, I want some advice from Joe, from Positive Select for some god-awful reason, a channel that has 27,000 subs after 2 years of work. What could possibly go wrong? Okay, here's my advice. If you're going to make an analysis video or an analysis article of Evangelion, even if it's not even a full-blown analysis, it's like a review, you have to make your content at least be more meaningful. Otherwise, it's worse than this WikiHow article on how to cosplay. This is the bare minimum, folks.
Just seeing Jason face palming while laughing is just making him all the more better.
Matt, are you listening? I know you're listening. Okay, let's see here. Okay, let's play a game, folks. All right. Oops. Let's play a game. All right.
Game.
Let's play a little game here. We're gonna say,
By the way, I sent you a message in Discord.
Drunk.
I saw that, Rito. That was very erotic. Okay, let's play a game here. Okay, it's going to be called which has better analysis?
Are you
Anime
drunk?
Matt My Hero Academia video or a My Hero Academia article on WikiHow?
WikiHow. I don't think WikiHow can be that dumb.
WikiHow. WikiHow. Okay, let's go on to WikiHow.
You're right there, man.
Bro, Academia.
You misspelled academia.
Oops. Academia. Would it be hero in real life? Okay, well, I think Anime Matt wins by default because, like, there are no articles.
No, he does it. You want to know why?
Why?
Because you can have something worse than nothing. Misinformation is worse than not putting out any information at all.
Well,
so WikiHow wins by default.
I'm not saying he's putting out misinformation. I'm saying...
Are you sure?
Midoriya.
I don't know. Honestly,
Are you sure he's not putting out misinformation?
So, to be fair,
I can fight this.
Also, I mean, is that really true? I mean, a whole lot of people just like they're happier when they believe that there's a big twist in Gridman episode 3.
Okay, now you lost me.
Yo, the big twist is coming, bro. The big twist is coming in episode 4, guys. Just mark
Which
my
big
fucking
twist?
words.
Oh yeah, I know the big twist
The
in
big
Gridman.
one.
Gridman
The big
is
one.
a Transformers anime.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, true. And the villain
No, the twist is that
Optimus
Gridman is a
Prime.
mecha.
Oh, yeah. It's the real twist.
All right, let's see
Yeah.
here. Okay.
He gets in the robot.
Yeah. Tokusatsu doesn't exist. It's just a mecha, guys.
Well, I mean, at first it's Tokusatsu, but then all of a sudden it becomes a mecha. That's the twist. Come on.
I get yeah.
Yeah.
Can we watch the
big
Japanese Spider-Man?
Japanese Spider-Man on Google Hangouts. Yo, are we gonna get content blocked? We watch Japanese Spider-Man on Google.
I don't know.
Leo Pardon is great.
Change the pattern.
Kimi wa naze, kimi wa naze.
You know, I like Spider-Man Homecoming, but it wasn't really a Spider-Man movie because it didn't have Leopardon in it.
Yeah, it didn't have Leopard on. It's not.
Yeah, we want Leo Pardon in the next PS4 game.
That's true. Unless you have Marveler and Leopardon,
Marveler and Leopard.
you have to know the distinction between the two.
Yeah, Marvel's gonna copyright strike this stuff. This hangout.
It's not a real.
And they'll make a couple of dollars.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody have any any other questions, comments, or anything?
Oh man, we
Make
got
sure
the
it's political
question,
based.
Should I be watching Gridman?
I'd say yes.
Gridman is pretty cool.
Joe, you haven't even watched it.
Not like Darly Fra.
Half of the first episode, then I went to do something else.
Okay, Joe, I got it. In episode 4, the twist is that it's an isekai.
Oh shit! What?
Yeah.
Shit!
Yeah.
What if you got a donation
Just-
saying keep
I
the
just-
podcast going for an hour? How much would it have to be?
I'm gonna leave. Bye-bye. Hey, goodbye, everybody. Woo!
On that?
And that concludes our podcast.
What if you just got a donation? How much would it have to be to keep it going for an hour?
Well, I'm watching Slime and Conception.
I'm watching Uzumade. It's legitimately a great fucking anime
Questions.
this season. Like it's unironically one of the best anime this season.
Oh man, that kind of sounded like you said slime in conception.
yeah.
Slime will conceive.
And you see, the slime was one of the love children or whatever.
Yes.
Please review Elon Musk's anime tweets. Okay, let's do
Have you
this.
seen those?
No.
Oh my god, you don't know about Elon Musk anime tweets?
I know
watched
about them, I
too,
just haven't seen
I watched too many anime this season.
Okay.
How many, Damien?
How many demons?
16, 17.
Or which one's your
Not
favorite?
too many.
Okay.
James-
let's
But
hear.
for the better, JoJo Seishun Butareo, which is remind me Harui Suzumiya.
I see.
Oh, okay. We could.
Mhm.
All right. Are we doing recommendations?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. I can't recommend anything because all I'm watching is slime and.
Okay, here's
Yeah, I have to go
let
to
me
my list
pop out
to remember
my
what I'm
recommendations for this season. Uzumade, let's see, not so much Goblin Slayer. It's okay of a thing. It depends on what you want to watch it for. If you want to watch it as a comedy, it is pretty funny. But let me see. JoJo's, of course. JoJo. I summed it up perfectly inside my video when talking about JoJo. JoJo is as JoJo will ever JoJo.
What the hell does that mean?
Doesn't mean anything.
Better than the WikiHow article. Come on.
Like
Shinji Ikari. All right, you know.
hey, I explained everything about JoJo, and then like I said as a ending consensus, I just said JoJo is as JoJo will ever JoJo, because it's a statement that isn't wrong.
Okay, but how about this? Have you ever wanted cosplay as Shinji? Wait, what? Have you ever wanted cosplay? Have you ever wanted cosplay as Shinji Hikari, the protagonist of Neon Genesis Evangelion? If you have a love for music, you like wearing a school uniform, and you care deeply about other people, you're already well on your way. If you want why am I?
Okay, here's the thing. I like wearing the school uniform. Those skirts are pretty nice, but I don't deeply care about other people.
Oh, because you're MGTOW?
All right. Slam's been amazing so far, but I kind of feel like it might not stay that way. Watch Release the Spice if you hate men like I do.
What's your thoughts on feminism?
Watch Release the Spice. Good.
Yeah, it's great. Don't watch Tokyo Ghoul. Don't do that to yourself.
Yeah, don't watch Tokyo Ghoul ever.
If you watch Tokyo Ghoul, you'll be a Tokyo fool. That was horrible. I'm sorry.
That's really fun.
What's the name of that? What's the name of that WikiHow game? Like what WikiHow article it was?
Oh,
can you guess the WikiHow?
Yeah,
Something like
that.
Oh, so I gotta head out now. I have things I gotta do.
All right. See ya.
Dog.
Okay, let's figure this out, boys.
Basketball. Something with basketball.
No.
I was
Seishun
the
Buta.
options.
Seishun Buta has the best script of the season. Like, it's just really good.
Okay. Oh,
Which-
it doesn't show up on the screen share. Okay, never mind.
How to talk to someone on the bench.
What was the answer?
Zombieland Saga is like really energetic.
How to be quirky.
Oh,
If you didn't mind that blonde character in Tadakun, then you'll probably really like Zombieland Saga.
Why do people
The
need
first
to learn?
two episodes of Zombieland Saga was pretty funny, but the third one is more conventional. So I don't know. Oh, you need to watch Karakuri Circus.
Yeah, it's exactly like the previous one. Sorry, I'm bad. Ushio Totora.
Yeah, we should try.
Okay, Night Crossholder. You say Uzumade is secretly legitimizing actual lolicons. What are you, pedantic?
Absolument.
The maid. What is it?
Is it legitimizing lolicon? Yes, it is.
No.
Is a housekeeper or hardcore lolicon attempts to get near Misha as he tries to fight against her. Oh,
C'est absolument ça.
It legitimizes it in the sense of video games legitimize murder.
What?
Oh yeah, Honda sounds really funny. But like it is DLE, so of course it is.
Wait, is Uzumade happening during the?
So nice.
Is Uzumade happening during the Russo-Japanese War?
No,
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 Usamate
tell me now.
the sequel to what is this
Okay, Joe,
shitty anime?
Here's the thing, Joe. I'll link you to what I say about Uzumade, and that should give you an idea whether or not you would watch it or not, because I think I'm the only one that explained it correctly.
Oh,
Okay, that's
I mean, you could also just like
that's a
check
red
out the
flag.
first episode.
That's a red flag. The moment somebody says, "I think I'm the only one who explained it correctly."
Yeah, that is a red flag.
No, it's because everyone else it just says, "Oh, it's a pedophile anime," and then don't expand on it.
Okay. All right, link it.
I'm sharing at the
Really?
exact time.
Is Usamate the sequel to Kill Me Baby?
No.
Oh, Damien. Have you been watching Radiant? Or
Oh
Radiant?
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I read Radiant.
What are your thoughts on it so far?
There you go.
C'est pas terrible.
I
It's
linked
not
it
so
at the
great
exact time when I start talking about Uzumade.
because we decided to adapt a full volume of the original manga in 20 episodes. So yeah, the problem of pacing. It's
Yeah.
nothing happened in the episode.
I didn't expect it to be as together as it has been, though.
A lot of French are disappointed to Radiant.
Yeah, like it's just not interesting. That's the problem, right?
Yeah, and that's kind of sad because Radiant is a pretty good manga. Well, it's really looks like One Piece, but it's pretty cool. So it's a simple Neketsu, but it has its chance, and they destroy it on the adaptation.
Yeah, I mean, like Lurch has done a lot worse in the past, so like, it is good for them
Like
by
episode
their
12, you know.
standards.
France is really nuts to and crazy since the Radiant adaptation. We decide to create a lot of global manga.
All right. All right. Okay. So I just saw the part you linked there. Unknown otaku. I don't know why I said it like that, but all right. Yeah, I can see that argument. I haven't seen the show, so I can't be all like, "Yes, that's a compelling argument." But I'm just like, okay, that makes sense. The internal logic checks out.
Yeah.
And the first thing child
I mean, it's something I
predators
lived
do
through, so.
is protect the child from what they see as other threats.
See.
The more you know.
Bring it up.
Cool.
Japan.
I saw it on the History Channel.
Okay. Since you guys are talking about isekai that are typically fantasy, I wonder what typically fantasy. What are y'all thinking about Black Clover? Too bad Scrolls just left.
Well, hang on. What? That's not.
Wait, Scrolls is
isekai.
in here? I didn't know that was Scrolls.
Wait, how does Black Clover connect to that sentence?
When's the next book club? The next book club is going to be 1 month is after the most recent one comes up. So it hasn't come up yet, so you got a lot of time, Nil.
Oh, what is it?
The anime ecology.
Oh, that's right. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so My Hero Academia is Green Naruto and Black Clover is Scream Naruto.
What?
No, Black Clover is a black version of Fairy Tail for the Shonen Jump.
It's Scream Naruto.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah, that's right. If you talk about the anime, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna leave.
Also, if anybody
yeah,
is interested in seeing,
Bye bye.
Bye.
All right.
yeah,
Yeah, so I think I said right. Like,
Yeah.
for me, I think the things that are really standing out this season are Gridman, Release the Spice, and so far Slime.
Tensei Shitara Slime Odatake is a really good adaptation, and I'm really impressed by the improvement of the studio since Night and Magic.
The only one I haven't seen so far is the Bunny Senpai one, and I keep hearing everyone like praise it as anime of the season.
Seishun Butayaru. It's pretty cool. That reminds me a mix between Haruhi Suzumiya and Bakemonogatari.
I keep hearing that as well. So I'm just like, that sounds interesting as hell. So I put it on hold. And I'm gonna watch it once it's like almost done or when it's done.
Okay, Mr. Upload says, which part of the anime fandom is the most friendly? I'm going to say
episode reviewer.
No lie, either episode reviewers or live reactors. Because I came from live reactors, and like they're the only like anime fandom that I've been in so far where like people weren't actively trying to one up each other.
Why Ultra Even get official French translation and not English ones?
The more intelligent the content is, the more everyone tries to one up each other. So the lower you go, the more friendly it is. I'm just going to give you that word of the wise. That goes for all of YouTube.
Anyhow, it's probably a good time to call it. Thank you everybody for showing up to this post video thingamajig.
Yeah, sure.
And
yeah, I had no idea what this was even for, but it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah.
It just comes up after every time I upload a video.
So once every couple of years.
Yes. So, but
right. Good morning.
Bye.
Bye.